give up. Yeah, we're going up. Next floor is us. You're riding with us. We want you to get on your feet. Stand up, stand up. Stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. Pick your body till we black out. Black out. So get the fuck up.
chance to run, leave behind the said and done, figure out what's to come. Reasons, all the bigger things I can't ignore. I'm not getting what I came here for. Gotta get ahead of something more. So I think I found a new way out, way beyond a shadow of doubt. 'Cause I can't breathe, and I guess I could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But I'm doing this for me. Give it up, baby, I'm not fooling anyone. Always going on and on. Can't you keep it to yourself for once? Oh, I think I found a new way out, way beyond your shadow of doubt. And I can't breathe. Oh, I hope you're keeping count of all the times you let me down, and all the things you said out loud, the bullshit I could cry about. And I know we could be stronger now and leave it up to fate somehow. But everything I do for me.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. You can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. I've been trying hard not to go out of my mind. And all I need right now is for you to stay the night. But if you keep saying that you've got to leave, then I'm gonna be alright. As long as you tell me that we ain't running out of time. Thinking about all the things we did tonight, what a time to be alive. Just you and I, just you and I. Only you can put my fire out. You can turn it all around. And you can lift me off the ground, so we can fly again, so we can fly again. So we can fly
stationary particles. As strange and counterintuitive as it seems, time dilation is a law of nature.
on your feet. Stand up, stand up, stand up. Come on, get loose with the heat. Right now. Pick up body till we black out. Black out. So get the fuck up.
Evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Simplay Motorsport here for the penultimate round of the season. And look at that, Argent's just in, was just about to get to him, but we are here for this penultimate round of the season. 4 racers left, 3 drivers up for this Drivers' Championship, and 2 teams up for the Constructors as well. Technically 4, but 2 will realistically have a shout. I'm Matthew Duffin, joined in the commentary box by my partner in crime on a Thursday night, Jamie Brazier. Jamie, how are we this evening? And are we looking forward to the Nurburgring?
I'm very well, thank you, Matthew. I'm ecstatic about this evening. Can't wait to see the conclusion of this title battle. I think it's going to be a really interesting night. Say this circuit will bring up a different challenge than what we had last week at Laguna Seca, but yeah, we'll have to see what happens.
Like you say, 4 races left. Different challenge this week than Laguna Seca last week. 3 drivers can win the championship. Andy, leads the way by 9 points from unorthodox. But you want to chuck a spanner in the works, Jamie? Try having COVID. Tested positive for it this morning, did Dan, and he has got a mountain to climb with COVID-19. He has got 9 points to gain over Andy, and that could prove to be the deficit tonight. Fury 56 behind, but he's got family round, so might not be able to make tonight. So hopefully he can if he wants to stay in touch of this championship fight. Gary, P4, and looks like he could have that nailed on as BT Targa busy at work with work picking up. Might miss this week and next week, he says. Xmart's 5th. Can he get ahead of his team at 6th? Can he get ahead of BT Targa for 5th? D Biggs is only 6 points behind Xmart. Great little battle there. Disco's 3 behind D Biggs. So again, another little battle in the background with Disco trying to catch D Biggs. Sutty is only 7 points behind Disco, so he's trying to gain on him as well. Argent is 16 behind Sutty Apex for P10 and 9 at this minute. Can he get that placed on? He's tied with Emo Guy, but with no Emo Guy here tonight, it looks like that Argent could have that job done for the top 10 spot. But another factor, seen as he's just turned up, Argent as well has tested positive for COVID-19. So the drivers testing positive, 2 of which, one for a title. Argent kind of still in a relegation battle with 108 points up up for grabs still. That's not where you want to be. Peaceful's 12th, Monkey Boy 13th, KLF 14th, and that battle between Peaceful, Monkey and KLF is 6 points between them three. Little each, a further 26 back from Kelly. He needs a miracle to stay up this season. And Maze Gamer, we've not seen for a few weeks, pretty much relegated from this championship. The Constructors title looks like this. Slingshot Motorsport, the BMWs have 6 points over the two McLarens of the two-time pro champ Shake and Bake. Sandbags Motorsport still mathematically in this, but with no Fury Nemo guy here tonight, they will slowly drop down and out of this title race. Team Prolapse as well still in it, but with only X-Mart, it's a lot of work for him to do. Leach Motorsport, way behind Team Prolapse, don't look like they're going to gain him for a top 4 place this season, which is quite crazy to think the former two-time champs won't get a top 4 spot in the championship. Audio Sport Prolapse, recent weeks Kelly and Sutty have performed amicably and so fantastic that they have moved up ahead of Simplay Racing by 40 points. So they are really on form. Simplay Racing, awesome 6-header forever forward, and without a teammate for Kieran Argent, it's hard work for him. But Jamie, tonight, 2 drivers with COVID. That's got to be hard work for them boys.
Oh yeah, it's definitely going to be hard work for North Dubs and Argent. To be fair, they might not. Say, North Dubs might not feel it tonight. It may actually be next week where he it hits him. Say if he's tested positive tonight or today, he might not have got the symptoms. Say I've had COVID myself and didn't really get any symptoms until the few days afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. So we wish Dan and Kieran the best luck, and hopefully that they go about their business. Dan did say yesterday that he was suffering with a head cold, and Kelly was making some jokes about a fisherman friend last night. So obviously Dan has been suffering of an illness, but it's now turned into COVID. He says it was a faint line. I'm not sure about Kieran. I've not spoke to Kieran as much. But either way, what a task them boys have got. 12 drivers on the grid, like we say. No emo, no Maze Gamer. Don't know where they are. Not heard from them in a while. No Furies with family. He hopes to turn up. The only one we do know that is missing with work is BT Targa. So we should have 15 cars on the grid. We're missing Emo, Fury and Maze. They are the 3 cars that are missing to complete that 15 lineup. But Jamie, we saw last night... the Acura and the Audi, again, dominant in their performances overall. What are we expecting here tonight? The BMW of Dean looked quite strong, so does that bode well for Andy and Disco? As we'll get back to Jamie in just a moment then. X-Mart currently the 3rd fastest man out there with Disco in 2nd place and Dan in the pole position spot at the minute. I say pole position, this is only the 20-minute practice session.
Sorry, I'm back now.
All right, we've got Jamie back. Yeah, so just going back to what I said, Dean seemed to do well in the BMW last night. Does that bode well for Andy and Disco tonight?
Yeah, definitely bodes well for them. A fact that I found out for qualifying: no one car has got more than 1 pole position around this track. The BMW has one, the Acura has one, the Porsche has one, and the Mercedes has one.
Well, there we go then.
So.
In this at Simplay?
Yeah, around Nurburgring, but that only includes the Pro.
Ah, right, okay. That's why I was going to say Pro-Am, because I thought Mazda or someone took pole in a McLaren in Pro-Am, but if you're only counting Pro, then fair enough. In terms of lap records, well, the lap records for around here is a 55.6 in the qualifying and a 57.4 in the race. They was both done by Andy in a Lamborghini. And it's going to be interesting tonight to see if them records are both broken. Both records were broken last night by the Acura. So the Acura at least holds 2 records that I'm aware of. But yeah, chance for records to be broken. Times we've seen in the week, Jamie, that qualifying and race record could be smashed tonight.
Yeah, it definitely could. I think the last time we were here back for the start of season 2, it was fairly cold. It even snowed in the 2nd race, so I can see the lap records tumbling tonight. Yeah,
the lap records are going to tumble, and apologies if you do hear a few squeals. Wales have just scored against Austria. I know nobody bothered, but they could qualify for the World Cup. So if there is a few squeals, I apologise. Gareth Bale's just scored an absolute wonderful free kick. But back to the racing, either way. Round here tonight, Jamie, your start of, what was it, BMW, Mercedes?
BMW, Mercedes, Acura, and Porsche all have a pole position, but there is no one car with more than one pole.
So then, can the McLaren get its first pole round here? Can the Ferrari get its first pole round here? They're the two cars then that haven't taken a pole yet. If no one car's got more than one, who's going to get pole position here? Because you'd have to say, based off that start, the McLaren, or, wow, look at Biggs. That's a good time from Biggs at the moment, putting it at the top of the leaderboard. McLaren or Ferrari for the pole position, maybe then, Jamie, or which way do you see this one going? I mean, it's hard all the time, isn't it, to not look at this man for pole position?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely difficult not to tip Andy for pole. Looking at Season 2, he was only a 10th off pole in the Lamborghini, and that was a car he didn't even know back then. Yeah,
exactly. Into race, what car do you think is going to be the best race car around here?
Now, I think it may well be the Porsche. So, as I was looking through records again, the most successful person in the pro around this track is Gary, with 3 wins out of the 4 races that we've done here.
Well, there we go then. So Gary really likes the Nurburgring. Can Gary do it again tonight? That'll be an interesting one to see if Gary can get that job done, because he's had a good season.
Yeah, he's had a good season. Not the seasons of season 1 and 2, but it's not been a bad season. But I'm pretty sure he'd hope for more.
He would hope for more. Obviously a tricky season, but relearning the Porsche, isn't he, after that year in the Renault?
Yeah, he's relearning the Porsche. So he's had a lot of things go on in his life as well. So it's not like season 1 and 2 where he's in a car he knows already and everything goes plain sailing for him. I think there was a BMW sat on the outside of the track there.
Interesting. Was that with Disco or Andy? Not too sure. Either way.
He's got 52 litres in. I wonder whether he's waiting for his teammate or something, or just waiting for a bit of clean air.
Yeah, he's for a bit of clean air. He's just had to sort something out a little bit. Evening, though, in the chat to M. Plava and Welshie PM Motorsport, Disco and Welshie in the chat. And again, M. Plava, commiserations on last night. Shame what happened in race 2 happened. It would have been nice to have battled all the way, but nonetheless, has been a great driver. And M. Plava, one of the guys we're looking forward to with in the pro next season.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to seeing what M. Plava can do in the pro, especially if he stays in the Audi. So we've seen the Audi do fairly well. Say in my hands, in Liam's hand, in Mazda's hand. So I reckon he'll do pretty well in the pro.
Yeah, I think he'll be all right. He's been fantastic so far, even into Beth in the chat as well. I think Amplava's got the pace as well, and he only gets stronger and stronger each week. So it'll be nice to see him in the pro next season. Welsh obviously in a fight for the promotion spot in 3rd place with Smoky Devil, the Battle of the Scotsmen next week on Wednesday night. So that's going to be an interesting fight there as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting fight. So Welshie's been promoted before, so he knows what it takes to get promoted, but not to win Pro-Am.
Yeah, he does. Close but no cigar in season 1. I wouldn't say closer. He's probably closer to the cigar than the title this season. But either way, he's had a great season. So have so have many drivers in Pro-Am. Smoky Devil's having a fantastic season, as is Ukbar, Ukbar, Welshie and Dean. Have all had strong, fantastic seasons, and it's been great pleasure to race with them on the track, as well as Amplava in that category. Evening to Mother Davis as well. Hope you're well. Going into the end at the midway point of this practice. Who are we looking at the minute? Peaceful, currently the quickest man out on the track, Jamie, as Gary's not yet set a lap time, but starts one now.
Yeah, there's a group of 4. Who's that in front? That Monkey Boy in front. So he's getting a bit of a slipstream off his teammate. He's not close. He's not too close to Monkey Boy to be getting held up by him. So he's in a good position here. He just needs to translate this into qualifying in the race.
He's in a great position. Like you say, he does need to transition this into the qualifying and the race. Running with race fuel. So if this is race pace, this could be an interesting night for Mike. The Simplay Racing boys not had it their own way and would love a good result here. Monkey Boy still struggling for that pace outright. Bit quicker than Little Each, but similar to Sutty at the minute. Kelly running in a strong 7th place at the minute. So Kelly going great guns so far.
Yeah, he's only 0.04 of a second slower than Disco. He's quicker than Xmart, his teammate. I think the person that he's really going to be keeping an eye on is Monkey Boy, because he's only a few points behind. So Monkey Boy's going to be looking over his shoulder to see Kelly sat there.
6 points between Monkey Boy, Peaceful, and KLF. Tight for that drop zone at the minute for the final place in the drop zone. It's going to be interesting watch to see who can do what, isn't it?
Here it is. Ooh, I think that was Disco.
Yeah, that's Disco, yeah.
Yeah, that's Disco. He went for a bit of a dive bomb. I don't know whether Peaceful caught him out under brakes there. But say Disco looked a bit more confident on the brakes than...
The Ferrari, I've been told, is quite a good on its brakes, but the BMW, I've drove the BMW a bit recently, and I do like the BMW's brakes as all. There's one of the track limit lines for tonight, the outside of turn 4. 2 wheels over the white line and 2 wheels only. Not allowed all 4 over it. Otherwise, it will be monitored and watched by the stewards. 0.2 of a second separate the top 4 at the minute. And this is a fascinating session so far. Gary gone P11 with his time at the moment. So not the best times from Gary, but obviously more time to come from him. And a nice little train here. As who's that? That's Monkey Boy, I think, has just gone on the gravel. Yeah, he's keeping to one side. That is Sooty Apex in the background as Gary goes into the pit. So maybe just making some adjustments. And deep. Oh, who's that? Sooty. Deep at the Schumacher S's, and he's round then in practice. 6 minutes left of this practice session to go then. No, he's held it. Yeah, he's held it.
Yeah.
Let's see what the boys can do then in the final 6 minutes. Is there any more pace to come from anybody, or are they all running race fuels or going for race runs late in this session?
I'd expect there to be a bit more pace from Andy and Dan. We normally see them put in some really quick quality laps at the end of the
just as you said that, Dan's just dipped into the pit. So is he coming out for the final 5? Oh no, he's making a stop. Now he's gone back in. There we go. Yeah. Actually, while we speak about that, has Dan there just tested the pit entry line? Because the pit entry for the limiter is right. So if you go to the last corner, anybody coming near it? No, they're not. The limiter, you much where the limiter is for the pit limiter. It can catch a few drivers out. It didn't last night, but it could catch a few drivers out. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. And as you say, Dan and Andy haven't done any quali runs yet. Both are now sat in the pit lane, so both could come out to do a quali run. We'll have to keep our eyes when they're back out on track.
Ooh, Biggs has now spun it at the Schumacher S. Yeah, speaking of the pit entry, I remember a very famous F1 race back in 2007, the European Grand Prix around here, where it chucked it down at the end of midway through lap 1. Kimi Räikkönen comes into the pit and misses the pit entry.
Yes, remember that one. I remember that one. The Super Aguri, was it, or was it the Spiker? The Spiker, I think, led the race, wasn't it?
The Spiker of Marcus Winkelhock.
Winkelhock, that's the one who, led the race for a while and had a fantastic time of it.
Yeah, as the cars were lining up, he decided the team called him into the pits, and as everyone stopped, he jumped ahead, and I remember coming round the hairpin, he went round the outside of the world champion that year.
Kimi Räikkönen?
Yeah.
Yes, thought so. Andy then, back out on track. Argent's just moved up into P5. Gary stays 11th, but is on just started the lap. What's Andy running? Let's have a look at the fuel Andy's got in the tank. Right, now then, he's gone for the quali. What about Dan? Dan's out on track. He's not. So let's keep an eye on Andy's pace then, as Dan stays out the way of Gary 131. There was a 4-time champ there on screen for a moment. Just separated between 2 drivers. Currently pole out on the chat at the moment. And Andy, Dan, Gary and Peaceful. Who will take pole position? The vote is going the way of Dan at the moment. 43%. 29 to Andy and 14 to Gary and Peaceful Explosion at the minute. So a lot of people thinking Dan's got the pace round here, but we'll have to see come the qualifying time. This man has the most qualifyings this season, has the most pole positions this season, and he has it with 10 pole positions to Dan's 1. So Dan, a lot of work to do, but he could do with them extra points, couldn't he? As Andy crosses the line, he's obviously going to start a lap now. Andy's average in Q1 is first. He's only been off the front row of the grid once in qualifying 1. He's only been off of pole twice in qualifying 1. So he has really been fantastic this year. He averages P1 with 10 pole positions. Dan, he averages P3 in the qualifying sessions. At the moment, in terms of their teammates, D-Biggs averages P8 with no pole positions and Disco averages P6 with 1 pole position, but that was in a reverse grid race way back when. That looked over track limits there. Way back when at Red Bull Ring in the first race of the year. In terms of the other two that's on the pole, Peaceful averages P7 with a reverse grid pole to his name, and Gary, with a reverse grid pole to his name, averages P8. So interesting to see there. Very quiet in the chat tonight at the moment. But PFAT Peaceful's just got another vote for pole position.
Yeah, and I don't know whether Andy's up, but he's definitely pushing the car. You saw him run wide there. This through the Schumacher S's, I remember Lewis Hamilton having a massive crash there.
I thought you'd enjoy that one. Yeah, one of many very little mistakes in his rookie year.
Yeah, to be fair, it wasn't his fault. I think it was a right front tyre exploded and he went straight on into that wall. And let's
not forget, that's not the first time that a right front tyre has exploded at the Nurburgring for the McLaren.
Oh, yeah.
Remember Kimi Räikkönen? Or was that left front?
No, that was right front. That was such a violent explosion, it shattered the entire suspension system.
That was a big crash going into turn 1, braked, and it just shattered.
Yeah, back in 2005.
I tell you what I saw on TikTok the other day, as Andy goes a second quicker, but only 8/10 quicker than Mike, and Mike's done that on race run, so Andy might want to find some more pace from somewhere. He probably will in the race itself. Popped up on TikTok the other day, Sebastian Buemi, China, where his suspension fails and both tyres just pop off and start going down the back straight. Do you remember in free practice?
Yeah, I remember that. I remember watching that free practice session.
Yeah, I was watching the same thing. And it popped up on TikTok the other day and I thought, that was another big one.
Yeah. Another fact that I found out, which was quite surprising.
Yeah.
When F1 has been to the Nürburgring, it's had 4 different names since it's been to the Nürburgring. The German Grand Prix, the European Grand Prix, the Eiffel Grand Prix in 2020, and the Luxembourg Grand Prix.
Luxembourg
In 1997 and 1998.
Well, I never knew that.
And then I think Jack Villeneuve won in 97 and Mika Hakkinen in 98.
There you go, PN. I hope that's better for you. Forgot to turn him up as normal. But I hope that's better for you now. Sorry, Jamie, just talk me through what's happened there.
Yeah, Gary went flying off at the final corner, straight into the gravel. I think that was
Dan, I reckon.
Dan in front of him as well. Dan's gone no quicker. Disco's gone quicker though. He's gone up to second, so it's a Slingshot Motorsport 1-2. Diesel comes across the line. Is he going to go any quicker? No. Only two other cars on track. D-Biggs has now lost it, and the other one is... I know there's Sutty as well.
Biggs quicker than Dan, I've just noticed, Jamie, in the practice.
Yeah, 2/10 quicker. It all depends what they're running.
Obviously, as well, with Dan not feeling well.
Yeah, so if you've got a headache, I know a headache really doesn't help when you're trying to concentrate, because I know he'll try and concentrate. Hell of a lot. All Sutty's lost it at the chicane. That leaves Monkey Boy the only one to finish his lap as he comes into the final corner.
Monkey Boy's improved to P6 in this session. Excuse me.
Yeah,
so good from the Ferraris at the minute.
Yeah, he's only 8/10 off Dan as well, so that's good.
Good times from Monkey Boy.
Yeah, he's a good few tenths quicker. I think Sutty. Oh no, I thought Sutty was trying to hit entry though.
And the votes have swung massively. Peaceful's got 20% of the votes. Andy now taking the lead with 40%. Dan on 30 and Gary on 20. But that is all for practice. We move into this first race. If you haven't got your vote in, please do so. As race 1 here, as qualifying 1 of the evening, is about to get underway. And who is going to be the first man out on the track. That sounds like a BMW. It looks like a BMW with the yellow lights. It is. No, it's not. Who's in front? Track map. Disco. I think there was a Ferrari got in front of Andy there.
Yeah.
There's someone else in front, though. Out the pit lane.
It's Dan. There's someone further
Right.
up. I think that's
Question.
Yes, Kelly.
Does Dan have his lights on your screen? Because his front end looks smashed up on mine.
He does have his lights on my screen. If we go on to him, he'll come around. Yep, the lights are on his car.
Right, okay then. So, ignore our screen. It's not bringing Dan's lights on for some reason. But he does have them on. That's better, says PN. You're welcome. Get your votes in if you haven't voted already for who you think will take pole position. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button, the bell to be notified, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. As we head into the end of this season, join Dan Davis live on Sunday for the Formula 1, the Hungarian Grand Prix at the Hungaroring. I'm looking forward to that one. No green pies for that one. He'll have to miss that one. He's away in Malta, I think he said, or Cyprus, one of the two. Can Gary take his second win of the season? Can I get back to winning ways? Can Mazda or anybody else take a win? As Dan then gets past Kelly and will be the first man out on track. And is that wise from Dan, Jamie? Did he want to be stuck behind Kelly too much there?
No, I think he was too close to Kelly to gain anything off a slipstream. If anything,
Now,
if he'd stayed where he was, he would have been hindered.
Is
by
Andy
Kelly.
now the car behind Kelly? Yes,
Yes, he
so
is.
Andy will be the car behind Kelly. Disco's and the car behind Andy. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens here and to see who can do what. Dan, though, will be the first man to cross the line and start his flying lap. The last man out on track, I'm not sure who that is, down at turn 1. But either way, sorry, not at turn 1. At turn 4, they've just exited. I've got a feeling that could be one of the Porsche boys, Gary or Little each. But either way, Dan will be the first man to do a lap. Jamie, let's go on board on the roof cam and see a lap of the Nurburgring.
Yep.
So deep into turn 100 metre board on your left, brake, hit it hard. Can't see it because Dan's lights aren't working on my screen at least. Get the apex, tuck it round, watch for the instability as the car bottoms out. Into turn 2, little lift, find the grip, get back on the power. Watch the curb on the outside, it will drag you wide. On the brakes, down 2 gears. First, just clip the apex here, nice and steady, set it up for the right hander. Bit of a lift, back on the power, use as much as that off-road as you can without taking the track limits. Now, find your braking point, just as this AstroTurf turns up here. Hard on the brakes, down a gear, keep it pinned, through you go. Might just get a late apex on this one as Dan picks it up, second gear. Use the curb as Dan does. You can't tell, but he does do it. Middle of the road sort of action. Back to the left-hand side. 5th gear. You want to drop to 2nd gear. Dan taking a tighter entry and then a wider exit. There is a few different ways to take that corner. I was trying the old late apex last night on that one, which seemed to work. Schumacher S's, is he brave?
Ooh, got right up on the curb then, but
He did. Very brave, though, to take it 4th gear flat out. Not a single lift. Now look for the AstroTurf again. Hit the brakes. Can't see it, but Dan does. Down 2 gears. Into 2nd. Or back up to 3rd. Little lift round here and a short shift. Dan actually applying a bit of brake. Gets it turned in. You can't see nothing down this back part of the circuit. But let me tell you, there's a right-hander coming up, and it's coming up now. You do not touch that curb on the right-hander. Round goes Dan, up towards the chicane at the end, and it is the tightest of the chicane layouts that Nürburgring has to offer. You see the little red lights? They're nice on the curb. That'll show you where the curb is when you've got no lights working. And Dan then to the final corner, all neat and tidy. And if you're quick, Jamie, you'll be in the 154s. If you're average, 155s. If you're extremely quick, you'll be in the 154s. And Dan is extremely quick. And what a banker lap that is. What can Andy do? As Andy's been sat behind Kelly a little bit. Andy to the line. Oh no, it's all a 10th. Wow. Wow.
As well, we know Dan has found a little bit of a trick, courtesy of Andy just running lower fuel. So as that really helped him, because we know, to say from last week, he was running on his quality laps. He was running about 8 litres.
8 litres,
fuel.
yeah.
Now he's running about. Say he's starting that lap, he had 5 litres of fuel. D-Bigs 1.4 off.
Yeah, Disco went back into the pits on Dan's lap there. Here comes Argent to the final corner. Another man who's tested positive for COVID, so trying his best tonight. Andy gets another vote towards his pole position. Argent goes P7. Monkey Boy with a 57.3. Not bad from him. Where's Peaceful out there on the track? Is that Peaceful coming to the chicane now? Yes, it is. So Peaceful to the chicane at the moment. Dan sets a personal best sector 1. So we'll have to keep an eye on the times. In fact, he's into the pit lane, as is X-Mark then. And Mike, Peaceful, Disco and Sooty, the only 3 who haven't set a lap time yet. Still nightmares from that corner, says Amplava. And good evening to Peaceful Stepdad. Hope you're well, buddy. Mike then to the line, crosses it now. Goes P3. That's a good qualifier. 1.3 off the pole, but good from Mike.
Yeah, that's very good from Mike. And then we've got Fury in.
Fury just in at the last second. 4 minutes left.
I'll tell you what, he might get one quali lap in. If he is very, very quick, he might get one quali lap. And
now then.
He might not,
sorry, carry on.
And he might not start from the back. So what's Fury's pace? Is he going to...
Yeah. What is Fury's pace? Sooty, was purple sector 1. That's just gone the way of Disco. We'll stay with Sooty for now, though. He comes to sector 2. Not yet set a lap time as Sooty or Disco. 3 minutes 40 left in the session. Could be time for Fury to get a qualifying lap in. He's got to get in the session sooner rather than later. Evening to Laura in the chat. Evening to Fury's mom. Here comes Sooty then. 2 minutes 16 middle sector. As he had a moment somewhere then. Fury is now in. Bit of lag there for the guys on track. Disco though, purple sector 1. Let's go to Disco. Where is he?
He is coming into the final chicane.
Right, I say a 1 minute 1 is the middle sector time. That is their pace in the middle sector. 1 minute 1. It's that big. The middle sector. Personal best middle sector for him. Not yet done a lap. Rounds the final corner now. Can he get it anywhere near the front and near his teammate? Comes to the line. P3.
Ooh, yeah.
So he's right with his teammate.
Yeah, he's right where he needs to be. Is Fury still sat in the pit to see Gary go out for one more
I think Andy's just started another lap because he's just gone fastest in the final sector. But his lap was a 2:33. Oh, that was a bit of track limits there.
Yeah.
And I didn't see him yield any time.
I have to see whether he goes quicker. If he goes no quicker, then he might have got away with one. But if he goes any quicker, then stewards will be wanting a word with him.
Well, Laney back at Red Bull Ring took pole position.
Oh, he's had a little wiggle coming into the.
And had it revoked because he went quicker and it was his best lap. So had the pole position revoked, and I think Ben Parkey took pole on that occasion. And you're not going to want to do that because there's a point up for grabs for that. And Dan will want that point. People everywhere are improving and making improvements.
The thing is, as well, Andy's got 1.7 in the tank. So
yeah, so he's done. This is it. It's all or nothing here because he is done. He will not get another lap in at this rate.
Yeah, Fury managed to get out for a qualifying run.
Dan still out on track. Personal best for Dan and for Andy in the middle sector. In fact, Andy went purple sector 1, and a personal best in the middle sector for Andy. So purple sector 1 with the track limits. The stewards may want to take a look at this one, but here comes Andy.
Comes up towards the line. Is it going to be pole position? It is a 54.4, but that's going to be in doubt.
Yeah, that could be in doubt. If there was track limits, we'll have to take the stewards. I want to take a look back at that one then and see what happens there. But Dan, with a minute 2, he's got enough, Jamie, in the tank to do one more lap.
Yeah, he had. Say Andy's done it. Comes through the chicane, comes towards the final corner. So easy just to run it wide out of this final corner. Oh, he's had a little wiggle on the back. He's got the exit perfected, comes to the line. No quicker.
Doesn't improve, but has one more chance to do this here then. That's Fury in the background who's going to get a lap in now. And like you said, Jamie, he's got one shot at this. Who's to the final corner? They're coming up to sector 2. Let's see who it is on my phone. It will break the timing beam.
They break the timing beam now.
It's Argent on the lap time.
He's messed. I think he messed.
Yeah, this I think's an outlap because it was a 1:43 first sector. So this is an outlap. And for Argent, he's got to nail this right. Who else has just gone through sector 2? That was KLF. So we'll change back to KLF in a minute. Will Argent get another lap? No. He's done. So Argent misses out. KLF then. He's pitted. Peaceful Explosion. Oh, we've lost Andy. Oh, which means he won't be in the first race. Peaceful Explosion's the next car. No, he's retired. D Biggs was the next car, or maybe Monkey Boy. It might be Monkey Boy.
And he's back in, so he might
be able to start at the back of the grid. Let's go to Monkey Boy quickly.
Monkey Boy comes to the line.
P5, that's quite good for him. Sooty Apex is coming at the last corner. Can Sooty improve on P11? Andy might be able to get in, but that's pole gone. Sooty improves to P12. Who's on track next? I think it was Gary. No, for sector 1. It's
Dan.
Dan then. So Dan, Gary. Andy is in. He is in. Oh, wow. Wow.
He has saved himself there, but...
Andy will start at the back of the grid. You remember that average of P1 in qualifying?
Yep, that's gone.
That's just dropped to P2. And Dan may have just got pole. Dan in the pits. Gary, then Fury. What can Gary do here?
Gary ran the final corner.
Monkey Boy was actually the fastest man in the final sector since Andy left the session. It's told us that Monkey Boy is the fastest man in the final sector. Gary to the line, goes P6. Fury to the line.
We'll have to wait and see.
He went P6 according to my phone. So Jamie, talk us through the grid.
So pole position is Unorthodox, in P2, Disco McDisco Face. Third place, brilliant qualifying for Peaceful Explosion. Fourth place is the second Shake and Bake Motorsport McLaren of D-Biggs. Fifth, another brilliant qualifying. Very good qualifying for both the Simplay racing guys. Monkey Boy in fifth. Fury with 1 lap in sixth. Gary 7th. Xmart 8th. Argent with COVID in 9th. KLF 10th. Sutty Apex 11th, Little Leech 12th, and Andy with no time 13th. 13th place, a kick at the end of the session, and that is heartbreaking for Andy. What that does do is that gives Dan a second pole of the year, and Jamie, the statistic of no car has taken more than 1 pole position here at Fuji continues, because that's the McLaren's first pole here at Fuji in the Pro. For Dan, it's an extra point for him as well. What that does mean, the McLaren gets its 3rd pole in the Pro Series, and that's its 20th pole position overall. The championship ramifications from that one, though, means that Dan has the gap down to 8 points going into this first race. And Jamie, he's a long way in front. Oh yeah, he's a long way in front. I was going to say he'll be at turn 2 by the time Andy's exited turn 1.
Andy has got a lot of work to do from here. He has got a lot of work to do in this race. Can he get this car to that front end of the grid and make sure he can get some good points? 8 points separate the two of them now. This is becoming game on here.
It is game on. Andy has got to get his elbows out and fight his way to the front. He could do an early stop. Pit on the opening lap of the pit window and just go from there, but we'll have to see what he's going to do. But he has got a mountain to climb now. Now,
Mike's just said in the chat, sorry Jamie, did Andy leave because of his lap time? Now, it would have just took his qualifying away from him. He would have still started at the front of the pack. If that's the case, then that doesn't need to be investigated. Either way, though, Jamie, we are 5 lights. Pit window is lap 3 to 12. End of lap 3 to the end of lap 12. We go here at Nurburgring. Andy looks like he's got a decent start at the back. Looks like he's already got past a couple of cars. Dan, though, away at the front. Peaceful and Disco are side by side as they head down to turn 1. Who's going to be the bravest on the brakes? Are we all going to keep it nice and clean through 1? Looks to be the case so far. And Disco, in fact, Fury's made a few places there, look, but Disco holding off Peaceful Explosion, and Peaceful now has Fury on the back. That's Monkey Boy round!
Yeah, it's Monkey Boy.
Round at turn 2.
Yeah, no one's collected him, so I have to see whether that was contact, but... Andy's had a spin. Andy's
had a moment now. Andy's had a moment himself. He's back down to last place, so what is happening for Andy tonight? It is not going his way at all. And at the moment, Andy Dan must be sitting in Dreamland. The other person who must be sitting in Dreamland is Fury as well, because Fury's right back in this title fight. Fury, though, looking side by side with Peaceful, down towards the hairpin. They give each other room. Fury tucks in behind and thinks of doing that one another day.
Argent's made a mistake as well. He
is a long way back.
Yeah.
Doesn't look like there's much damage to that car, but he is a long way back.
Had a mistake as well, because he's behind Monkey Boy. And
He is behind Monkey Boy. Monkey Boy had the spin at turn 2, so 3 cars having a mistake. That's put Monkey Boy back up to 10th, and Kelly could have the world's widest McLaren here. Look at Monkey Boy on the back of Xmart up front. So Monkey Boy going great guns at the minute. In fact, Monkey Boy looking for a move on Xmart. Up the inside into the left-hander. Just a bit too far back. Can't get that one done. Now to the right-hander. Again, that Ferrari, Jamie, round here looks very, very quick.
Yeah, it's got good straight lines. It has got good straight line speed. Andy's now got past KLF, so the world's widest McLaren has become wider anymore.
Hey, if Kelly's teammate Sutty send it, he could think about something up towards the chicane. And up towards the chicane they come. On the brakes goes Andy. Andy's missed his braking. And what's happened to Monkey Boy and Xmart? Monkey Boy and Sutty. Little Leach.
Oh, that's awful for Little Leach. You see him being so far behind. Argent's now managed to get past. Kelly
got back past Andy. Andy must have given the spate at the time back out the chicane as he outbraked himself. We've seen that one happen, Emplava. It looks, as he says, it looks like Andy's doing anything to lose his title. What has happened to Fury? Where is he? He's 6th place. Wow. So Peaceful still on the podium. Gary up to P4 at the minute.
Yeah. Yeah, Gary. It's like I said at the start of the night. Gary loves Nurburgring.
Gary does like Nurburgring, and what else Gary likes is good, clean, opportunistic racing and good moves. Look at Peaceful out front, though. Look at the pressure he's applying to the yellow BMW of Disco with Disco Face. The Constructors' battle, swinging back in the way of Biggs and Dan. Dan starting to pull a gap and Peaceful starting to close on Disco. The yellow Ferrari gleaming in the nighttime sky here in Germany, putting pressure on the brighter yellow BMW up front. Germany versus Italy here, while the Brits lead the way.
I'll tell you what, we haven't seen this Peaceful for some seasons.
Yeah, where's this guy been hiding? The season 1 race 1 Peaceful, as he's coming through. He looks like he's hungry. He's got the bit between his teeth. Gary and D-Biggs getting close in the background, and Peaceful on the brakes, just really being able to gain onto the back of Disco with Disco Face, as up front Dan has stretched the lead to 3 seconds, and down at the back of the pack, Sutty and Little Each tripping up each other once more. Andy's dispatched Kelly on the standings. Monkey Boy back up to 10th ahead of Kieran Argent. And here we go towards the chicane. In the slipstream, the Ferrari versus the BMW. Does Peaceful think about a send-it manoeuvre? Not from there, he doesn't. Nice and early on the brakes. Gets to the apexes. Biggs on the back of Gary, can't do nothing. And Fury's got to make up ground from the back.
Yeah, Fury had a brilliant open lap, but I think they are so easy to slide wide or spin it round on turn 1, especially with cold tyres, cold brake.
Too much of the curb as well. At some places will unsettle the car. Kelly then, first man in at the end. No, Kelly's in a lap early.
Yeah, he's coming a lap. Has he got damage though, or has he jumped the start?
Well, we'll see if it's a drive-through penalty. But if Kelly stops, Kelly's going to have to pit again here.
He's come. Ooh.
This could be a drive-through, you know.
I think this is a drive-through.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is. It's definitely a drive-through. KLF then drive-through penalty. So his race 1 has gone from bad to worse. He's had a few jump starts this season, and that's another one to add to the list. Andy then up to 7th and free.
I think Xmart's made a mistake because Andy was about a second or so behind him, and he's pulled. He's got 1.4 on him.
He's got 2 seconds to Fury now, and Fury will make this as hard as possible because Fury then, sorry, I was just reading something. Fury needs to finish ahead of Andy and Dan to really stay in this championship. And at the minute, Peaceful and Disco doing the bits for 2nd or 3rd. Disco just gapping Peaceful a little bit.
Yeah, he touched the gravel there a little bit. See that you can see Fury, D-Biggs and Gary. D-Biggs has got ahead of Gary. He
has. Where's he done that then? Not sure where he's done that. He's pulled a bit of a gap as well, nearly a second over Gary. So has Gary had a bit of a wobble somewhere? But either way, that's bringing Fury into the play here, and Andy's not far off the back of them. There he is, look.
Yeah, he's got Fury breathing down his neck. This is about 7 tenths away from Disco, so he's dropped a little way behind.
This is good, though, for the Shake and Bake boys. In terms of the Constructors' Championship, both cars, one of each, ahead of one of the BMWs, and both running in the top 4, while Andy's 7th, Disco 2nd. And who is that in? That's Gary in for an early stop. Lap 4, end of lap 3.
So, releases Fury to have a go at D-Biggs. Is Andy going to come in as well?
No, Andy's gone round, as is most of the pack here then. Now, a little strategy for Kelly that worked for Bryn last night. Bryn had a drive-through race too, pitted the minute the window opened, and Bryn came back. It was at 6th at one point till he made a mistake. So it might be worth for Kelly here to just think about an early pit stop and get to the end of the race, depending on what the strategy is for the McLaren boys. Mike to Peaceful to Disco. Some 9/10 difference in it the last lap. Disco then lapping a bit quicker than Mike, though, having a good little scrap in terms of pace-wise with Fury and D-Biggs. Andy, though, 56.2. He's quicker than the leader.
Yeah, so if he hadn't disconnected, I know it wasn't his fault, but say if he hadn't disconnected, we'd probably be having a scrap for the lead right now.
Yeah, we'd be having an Anplava Matemovic sort of battle with the two out front are gone, and it's them two fighting for the lead of this race. Kelly chose not to pit that lap that time around, then Gary came out dead last. But I tell you what, Gary will want to clear Kelly as quick as possible and get in that clear air to make sure that he can get back and maybe jump D-Biggs with an undercut. As he's slow, cameraman picks him up.
Yeah, he dropped behind Sutty as well.
Here comes Little Leach.
Coming down to Sutty.
Here comes Little Each. I tell you what, Argent here could be pulled into a relegation scrap at this rate with everybody he's fighting against finishing in front of him. He's got 30 points over Monkey Boy, sorry. But at the minute, it's not going the way he wants. And that huge wiggle there through the Schumacher S's. He had to get off the throttle a little bit there.
Yeah, if you look at the front of the Mercedes, look, it's all pushed
yeah,
in.
A bit squished in. Front right, I think the front right's got some damage to the car. I think that's the problem with it. There's Little Each then. Can Little Each start to get his season back?
Disco's down to 6.
What has happened to Disco then? He's fell behind his teammate, and Peaceful runs P2 at the minute. Oh, wow. Dan in the 57s, Fury in the 57s, Andy in the 57s, Mike nearly in the 57s. Biggs is going to have some pressure. Disco's had a huge off somewhere. Sutty in the pits.
I wonder whether he's lost it for the Schumacher S's.
Possibly so, or maybe had a mistake at the end. Chicane. Schumacher S's has to be one of the only places he could have made the mistake. Sutty, Argent, Little Each all into the pit, so Argentine to fix that damage. That could be a long stop for him. The Leach Motorsport boys getting their pit stops over and done with as soon as possible. Then Kelly gets past them and gets past his teammate Sutty now. Gary's coming through as well.
Oh, D-Biggs has got a little...
He has. He's had a bit of a mishap coming through the first couple of... the middle part of the track there. A bit of a mishap coming through that section down towards the hairpin. The Mercedes will have an almighty run on the McLaren, but he's just a bit too far back. And Biggs now needs to settle into a groove because he's net third effectively, even before the pit stops have started to happen, because Disco made that mistake. Gary, let's not forget, will want to be lapping quite quickly because he's in a battle with Biggs before Gary pitted. Through the Schumacher S's, Andy trying to get on the back of this pack. Peaceful out front in these. He's 4 seconds up the road. A little wiggle there for Fury under the braking. Biggs runs a little wide. There is Andy then just starting. Them lights getting brighter and brighter. Here comes Fury. Biggs didn't get a great run through that corner. And here comes Fury then. Down to the little quick right-hand king. Fury on Biggs. Can he get a move done? He can't. Biggs able to cover that inside line now for the chicane. And here we go to the chicane. We saw it all happen here last night. And nothing tonight. Trying to cut through each other. Fury looking to the outside. Gets a great run. But has Biggs said Biggs bails to the pits. But look who's on the back of Fury, Jamie.
Yes, Andy. The Rossi two have been trying to trip it. Have been tripping each other up. Andy's just been slowly working his way towards them. So Fury will not make it easy for Andy whatsoever. X-Mut and Monkey Boy in as well. Ooh, Fury
will not make it easy for Andy here, and Andy's pretty much pushing him into turn one. German versus German power here, and manufactured cars. BMW sponsored all around the track here at the Nurburgring. Andy just over the curb there, a little wiggle. Let's not forget Andy won our 24-hour of the Nordschleife for cancer research last year in May. That's nearly a year. Wow, how time has flown. As onto the GP circuit tonight. Dan, the bit between his teeth, he's gone. Mike 6 seconds up the road from these two as well. And these two having an almighty scrap. Gary then has lost out massively to D Biggs. He's even lost out to X-Mart and Monkey Boy. See, Gary's night has took a turn for the worse since the pit stops.
Yeah, but look at his lap time. Presuming it's 6, so he's quite clearly made a mistake on that last lap.
He
so
has.
He does race off all the time.
Yeah, indeed. Gandhi then just having a little look up the inside of Fury, and that's the two different lines into the hairpin. Fury, though, looks like he's got the better run out of it. And Jamie, so far, you have to say the front two are gone and under no pressure. These two having a cracking battle.
Yeah, so Peaceful's going to be hoping these two have an almighty battle so he can scamper off up the road.
Scamper, love that word. Fury then a little wiggle into the left-hander once again, and Andy really coming at him like a rate of knots at the moment. And we say that it ebbs and flows. This isn't ebbing and flowing. This is all-out attack from Andy and Fury, who's trying to recover from an earlier spin. And Andy with the bit between his teeth, his tail between his legs, and knows that he's got to make up places and looks like he was closing into the chicane, but just runs out of road. Fury, though, makes a little mistake, loses time, and Andy now has a nose, has a sniff up his inside. Andy pits, good option maybe, Jamie, undercut possible.
Yeah, that's a very, very good option. He doesn't want to keep getting stuck behind that Mercedes if he knows he's got quicker race
Disco,
pace.
I've not seen Disco in the pace, but he's dropped off. Something rotten here. Has really struggled in this race. He had a good start, but has struggled since. In fact, he's only got one headlight on my screen. Looks like he's hit something.
He's got two on my screen.
Well, then I don't know what's happened. But either way, can't pit this lap because his teammate said he's got Biggs some 7 seconds behind. Now, where is Biggs compared to Andy? Andy in the pit box is only just away now. Where's D Biggs? That's Biggs coming down the straight. Could Kelly and X-Mart get Andy here? Kelly's into the pits, and no, Kelly won't. X-Mart, I don't think will either.
I don't think he will. Andy's going to be off the limit at any second.
Now, yeah, he's off it now. There is X-Mart and Monkey Boy too far back, but Biggs has possibly cleared Andy a little more than what the gap was before the pit stops.
Yeah, Gary's now done KLS.
Yeah, Gary's the man who's lost out massively so far tonight. He's ahead of KLF. He's ahead of Sutty. Sutty gets ahead of KLF. Can Little Leach and Argent get KLF? I don't think they will. Who's that? Who's the red dot? That's Dan, isn't it? Saying that Dan's a lap ahead of Gary because he's over half a track in front. Monkey Boy gaining on the back of X-Mart once again in this race. Currently P8 for Monkey Boy. Not bad for him tonight. And the Simplay Racing team having a cracking night at the minute.
Yeah, so hopefully it can stay that way. For the pair of them. I think, Gary's made a mistake, but he's gone. He's lost the position.
Lost that to Sutty there. So another mistake from Gary. It goes from bad to worse for him. Kind of been Gary and Little Leach's season, this hasn't it?
Yeah, so we big them up before the start of the race, and then they just don't deliver. Peaceful into the pits.
Peaceful in then at the end of lap 7.
Is Fury going to come in this time to cover? No, he's not going to come in to cover off. And he ran a little bit wide there.
Yeah, that could have compromised his run. Only Disco, Fury and Dan, not the guys to not pit. So where is Peaceful? Will he come out ahead of Disco then? Disco at the chicane. Peaceful at his box. So keep your eyes on the white dot coming through the last corner. That is Disco.
Yeah. That's a good
that's
stop.
clear. Good stop. Good stop, that.
Yes,
And I'll tell you what, Disco's in, Biggs, Andy, X-Mart, Monkey Boy all coming, but Mike off the limiter now.
Off the limit, now he's gone.
Yeah, on his way. And I think Biggs may have closed the gap a little bit to Peaceful during that round of pit stops, but it was about 6 seconds when Biggs and Peaceful pitted. Sorry, when Biggs pitted. Yeah, he's pulled about a second back. Peaceful still not under any pressure at this moment.
Yeah, so he's got about a 5 second gap, so he's not under any immediate pressure.
Let's come away from him because we know the jinx.
Yeah, we know the jinx. We'll let Peaceful get on with what he wants.
Oh!
To do. And he's
No,
lost the position.
he hasn't lost the place. I wasn't saying that about Mike. Sorry, carry on. 2-0 Wales.
Yep. I just thought Mike dropped down to third, and I thought, has he lost the position?
Sorry.
No, he was behind Fury anyway.
No, that's my bad. Sorry, apologies. Right, lap 8, pit window closes at the end of lap 12, and so far, just about to say, this man hasn't pitted, but he's decided he's going to come in now. Him and Fury, the only two not to pit. Will Fury come in this time around?
Fury's got to come in this time around. But then
if you was watching last night's stream, what you would have noticed is Dan got a stopwatch out and timed 45 seconds for a pit stop. And I sat there and turned to Beth today and I went, right, Beth, I know for me and Jamie that it's 45 seconds for a pit stop. It turns out the gap was 26 seconds between me and Emplava, and Emplava came out a second behind. That is an almighty effort. Fury's in as well. So the pit window is about 25 to 30 seconds, depending on the length of time you are stationary. Dan will not be overtaken here at all. Fury, the gap, we can't see what it is at the moment, but can he clear Andy and Biggs? I think he's going to come in between Andy and Biggs.
Yeah, he's not. Peacel's now coming down the pit straight. He's into second. You can just see D Biggs in the background. He's just exited the final corner.
I think Fury's going to slot into this fight here. This is where he was before they pitted. There goes Biggs. There goes Andy. Fury's off the limiter now. He gets back up to racing speed. Biggs, has he got Fury done? He has. And Fury right in front of Andy as it was then, whereas we were before the pit stops ended. So P3, 4 and 5 back to where they was. Disco's lost out massively down to 11th. Biggs has run almighty wide and I think he's round. He always is. Right across the track and comes on. Oh, I tell you what. Oh, he squeezes Andy there and he's lost 2 places. Biggs, oh Biggs, oh Biggs, what has happened?
He was looking so good for a podium as well, and now he's gifted a podium to Fury.
Gifted it to Fury. He'll want to get back in front of Andy for the team points as well as helping his teammate Dan out in this championship. Fury trying to keep his hopes of a championship alive. I know the 2-0 up Fury's granddad. I've got it on the telly next to me, but it's on mute. That was a little moment. The gap then, Fury to Peaceful, is now 7-8 seconds. So Peaceful can just settle and can just cruise here because Fury is going to come under some immense pressure from Andy, and the minute they start battling, it could be Biggs on the back as well. Monkey Boy trying to get to Exmalt, that's 3 seconds. Sooty on his own. Gary's got Kelly with him once again. So Kelly trying to get past the former 2-time champion. Gary here has had a shocker of a race since his pit stops.
Yeah, he has. You got Argent on the back of Disco. So Disco's night has gone from bad to worse. He was up there in second place, and now he's battling for 11th.
Yeah, for 11th and 12th. Little Leach, he's another one whose night has just been terrible. He's only coming through the first 4 corners at the minute. His season has been a shocking one. He manages to keep it going and not get it in the gravel trap.
Yeah, he's lost a bit of time to Disco though.
Oh, Disco though just clips the gravel coming through the Schumacher S's. You don't want to be greedy on the 2 curbs there because that will unsettle the car. Let's go back to the Andy Fury battle. That looks like it's getting closer once again. 0.7 of a second, and Biggs a further second back. Andy just starting to reel him in a little bit here.
Yeah, but as we said before, Fury is not going to make this at all easy. He's going to want to keep his slim championship hopes alive.
He is indeed. He's going to want to keep them alive and keep them within touching distance. Fury's got a man really, Jamie, who's got nothing to lose here.
Yeah. Yeah. If Fury wins, he'll get a little bit. He'll get closer to 20. But really, he needs Andy and Dan to have at least one shocking race.
13 drivers started this race, which means the top 7 cannot qualify. So that's everybody down to Monkey Boy. Cannot qualify for race 2. Andy now on the back of Fury for position. This now could get Biggs, who's just dropped off the back of him this lap. He's lost a second from turn 1 to the Schumacher S's compared to these 2. So really, D Biggs can now, with these 2 scrapping a little bit, maybe get involved with these 2. Fury catching Mike a little bit as well. That gap's down to that stayed about 7 seconds. That's my bad there. But these 2 now starting to battle each other. You look at Peaceful matching Andy's lap times last time around, as did Exmart, as did Monkey Boy, as did Disco McDisco Face, all in the 58s. Dan and Fury obviously on outlaps, but here comes Andy to the outside of the chicane. Fury's forced him to the outside, and Fury's forced him to take the other way around. And I tell you what, probably ran out of road there. It is a very tight chicane, and Andy wisely going across it and took him back in for another shot. But while this happens, Biggs comes back into play if he can keep it going.
Yeah, Biggs has come. If Fury defends a lot, it's bringing Biggs into play. It could even bring Exmart into play, and he's going to look for the inside. Fury covers it.
Covers it off nice and easy there, and Andy to the outside. Fury's dropped it all on his own, and he's had his championship gone. He's lost out to Biggs. He's lost out to Andy, and Andy from the back of the grid's back on the podium.
He's back on the podium. The gap is 6.5 to Peaceful. So is he going to catch Peaceful in time? There's
7 laps effectively left, so he's got to go at about a second a lap, hasn't he? The gap's around that 6.97 second mark. He's got to go some margin here to get past Peaceful Explosion. Dan has lapped Little Each, and so Little Each struggling. Argent's got past Disco, so that's that one done. Not sure what's happened to Disco then. He's got Dan hunting him down to put a lap on him. That's Andy, sorry, whistle on board. Then I thought we chased to Disco there, but it was just a camera angle. Come on, Fury, keep it going, but he says Fury's moment in the chat, and he will be kicking himself. He's only 4 seconds actually off the back of Andy, so if Fury can put his foot down here and can make up some good time, he could come back to this.
Yeah, so he's only just under a second behind. Oh, I think Gary's made a rough mistake.
He has. Look, well off.
Kelly's got past him.
Kelly's got past him, and Argent's not far behind him. So the Leach Motorsport boys are having an absolute nightmare, and Argent could gain another place or two here if he can gain onto the back of Gary and onto the back of Kelly.
That's good for Kelly though, because at the minute Monkey Boy is 2 places in front of him. He's got his teammate just ahead. So will there be team orders? Potentially, in terms of the extra points to stay up, yeah, there could potentially be them team orders for Sutty to slow down. What's the gap? That's some 16 seconds. Sutty's going to have to yield. We'll have to see what happens in the closing stages of this race. D-Biggs to Andy is 3 seconds. D-Biggs to Fury is under a second. And X-Mark's coming in the background as well. So Biggs could be getting past, or could be looking to get past, Fury could be looking to get past D-Biggs any time soon. Now, what happened to Fury? Jamie, talk us through it, because there is that little dip at turn 1. Was he just too tight? Took it too tight of an angle into the corner that unsettled the car? What do you think happened there? Yeah, he took it a bit too tight, got on the power a bit too early. It's just how that corner drops away, it just unsettles the car, and as soon as you get on the power, it spins the car around. I know I've had it happen to myself back in Season 2.
Now,
it's an easy thing to do.
We said Andy had to catch Peaceful at about a second a lap. How's 1.6 seconds sound in terms of catching Peaceful? That gap's 6.4 seconds, so he's not close too much yet, just up under 6 seconds now. But Andy's got the hairpin to negotiate, so it will sort of balance itself out. Back over 6 seconds it goes. Look, we've had a retirement.
That's Disco.
Oh, Disco then has retired from the race, and that is his 3rd retirement this season. So you know what that means. He loses 25 points unless he can prove it was a disconnection error.
No, you can see there's a blue dot.
He's retired in the pit, so Disco then will lose 25 points, and that has massive ramifications for the Constructors' Championship.
Oh, he has well and truly shot himself in the foot, unless there is a fully valid reason why he is retired. Andy is not going to be happy. What's happened to Dan? Look, the gap's 4 seconds.
The gap is 4 seconds. What has happened to Dan? Has he had a mistake somewhere? A 2:08 would suggest that he's made a mistake at some point. Peaceful's got the gap down to 4 or 5 seconds now. Andy's within 11 seconds. Is Dan able to get to the end of this race?
Now, Dan was coming up to lap Disco. Disco has now retired. Has there been a bit of contact between the pair of them, or has Disco held him up?
I'm not too sure.
You have to speak to
car was undrivable. Don't know what changed from practice and quali to the race. I don't care about the points, by the way. Says Disco in the chat.
So it don't seem like there's been any contact between him and Dan. So I wonder. Oh, I think Little Leach has. Yeah, he has.
Yeah, Little Leach has had a mistake as well. But big ramifications in terms of this Constructors' Championship now, and that could bring Peaceful at Disco back into a relegation scrap here. Yeah, that could really bring him back into a scrap, especially with Peaceful and Monkey Boy scoring some good points. And Kelly. That gives Little Each 12th place then.
Yep.
What did happen then? The car was undrivable, he said, so maybe clearly struggling with the car. And it's basically, for everybody wondering why he's lost points, it's basically a 3 strikes and you're out kind of rule. We try to encourage drivers to get to the end, even if they're struggling. Just try and get to the end to score the points. It's 3 strikes, you're out. That was D Biggs right across the gravel there. And we said Dan's struggling. Is maybe these McLarens just starting to hurt themselves a little bit here? Well, at the minute, the gap peaceful to Andy's 4 seconds. With some 4 laps to go, because they're coming up to the last corner now. I tell you what, I'd love to know where Dan made that mistake.
Yeah, I would say it could have been the Schumacher. Could have been, to be fair, it could have been anywhere. But say it seemed a bit of a Fury launched himself over.
He did, didn't he? There, yeah, trying to take the ramp. He's kind of made up ground to D-Biggs, but not got. He's then sort of stagnated and not got any closer.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not saying Disco has done anything to Dan. It's just.
I don't know how close. Where's Argent? Because Disco was near Argent. Nah, I don't think Disco would have been. Disco was near this, so I don't think he has done anything to Dan.
No.
Because Disco was near this. Look at this. Kelly's ahead of Gary, who's got Argent coming as well. Three-way battle here. This Gary and Kelly just up front. Argent could be singing pretty on a top 10 here. If he can get past 1 or 2 of them through the chicane.
Yeah, he just needs to keep it consistent and not make any mistakes. Now,
Dan 57.2, Peaceful 58.4, Andy 56.8. Schumacher S. Dan spun, says Emplava. So I'll be watching Dan's stream, I imagine, and that's where Dan spun as Gary then side by side with KLF.
He's done him.
And he gets him done up the inside.
Kelly's coming back low on the outside.
Yeah, he'll try and get this done.
That's not going to work, Ray.
Thank you, Mama, for the carrots. Gary would like to say their job done.
No, he's run wide.
He has run wide. Kelly, I don't think, is close enough yet to come back up the inside. Gary, though, giving him the room and respect. But look who is right on the back of this battle now. And all of a sudden, Kelly's got... Oh, Gary, huge wiggle. Kelly's taken the track limits. Kelly's going to have to yield some time there. I think he has, because Argent's got well alongside. Gary had a big wiggle as well. Kelly and Argent side by side through the left-hander into the right-hander. Kelly able to defend that one, as I think Argent got out of it a little bit more than Kelly defending it. But so far, so good. Gary's wiggles. Kelly's track limits a little bit, and Argent into play with all of this. It's all happening. Andy, 3 seconds, just over 3 seconds to Peaceful out front. They're just about to start their 15th lap of this race. These guys are on lap 14. Has Austria's pulled a goal back here? 63 minutes in. I know that's not what we're talking about, but yeah, either way. Here comes KLF.
Yeah, he went a little bit wide coming through the Schumacher S's. Didn't really give Argent much of a run. He's going to look for that straight down towards the chicane.
Yeah, you'd think so, wouldn't you? Gary looks like he's going to be pulling away here. Unless Gary makes a mistake, it looks like Gary's done and out the way here. And at the minute, Kelly trying to defend from Argent. We know Kelly's a wily old fox. He's a good defender. He's made his decision to go to the racing line and then takes the corner. That was, yes. Was that moving under braking?
I don't know. Don't know whether you'd call that questionable. Argent's going to have another go down the straight. Oh, I think did Kelly get off the throttle there to let him back through?
Not too sure. Did he get off the... yeah, I'm not too sure. Was that moving under braking from KLF? He's made his one move, goes to the inside. Argent tries to go round the outside, and Kelly manages to defend that line once again then. Into turn 2, Argent having to look the long way around. Now, do you remember a few seasons back, these two in Pro-Am?
I think Argent just dropped it.
Oh, he has dropped it. He's dropped it all on his own. I was just about to say, do you remember it season 2 with these two? Kelly defended for his life at Daytona against Argent, and Argent couldn't find a way past. This was giving me memories of that.
I believe that was season 3.
Yes, Kelly's first season, yeah, in the Porsche as well. I think that was Kelly's first win here at Simplay Motorsport that night. Either way, Kelly's been let off the hook there, and Argent not able to stick with him. Now then, Fury on the back of Biggs. He's right on the back of Biggs now. The gap between Peaceful and Andy is 2 seconds at the minute. The gap Andy to Peaceful has gone back up. Peaceful, though, lapping in the 57.6s, while Andy is a 56.8. They're on lap 16. They've got 2 laps to go. That gap is about 2.5 seconds. Questionable, like he would say, said Amplava. And here comes Fury, looking to the outside of D Biggs as Biggs makes his car as wide as possible. Biggs taking that Fury line, had a bit of a wiggle. You see him just bottom out a little bit and have a moment. That's allowed Fury to sniff right up to the back. And Fury, like the little Labrador he is, as hyper as ever, trying to get up the inside. Look at this. Oh, he set him up an absolute peach.
Yeah, he set him up perfectly. He's just got to be brave and trust Biggs to go right the way around the outside. Biggs cuts across in front of him. Biggs goes wide again. He likes running wide at that corner. Fury's got the run.
Got a poor run. Biggs got a terrible run, and Fury, job done.
He's done him already.
Up into P4 for Fury, and he's a bit too far back to catch Andy now. Does Biggs have an answer? I'm not too sure. So what other battles do we have out there at the minute? Kelly trying to stick with Gary. Monkey Boy trying to come back at Exmar. The biggest battle, I suppose, is P2 and 3. Unless Biggs can come back at Fury here.
Biggs has lost a bit of time. Oh, Fury had a little wiggle though coming through the left-hander. He should pull away down. He should pull away down this straight, yeah. Flat outlet right-hander. The gap, look, 1.5 I think it is, Peaceful to Andy. They're coming through the last part of the track to start the final lap of the race. I think Peaceful's made a mistake! No. Oh, the Peaceful pirouette! And he's lost second place! He's threw it away at the very end! With 1 lap to go, he's lost second place! And Dan would have been hoping that Peaceful could have held him off till the very, very end. And Andy has grabbed second place. Biggs and Fury in the background. They're coming back at each other. Peaceful just got to keep it nice and steady on this final lap. He doesn't want any more mistakes. He just would love to see. I think Gary's made another mistake as well.
Yeah, he's dropped behind Kelly. Oh, he has. He's well off. Where is Gary? He's sat in a tyre wall.
Where's that? Is that on the...
I wonder if... Right. I wonder if he's had to shoot off somewhere for his... Littlin and partner. I know his partner's under the weather, and obviously he's had a Littlin.
Yeah.
So I wonder if he's had to shoot off for that. So that then will put Little each P12, P11 you'd imagine, and Gary P12. Monkey Boy, in fact, Gary sounds like he's back now. That sounded like.
Yeah, that sounds like.
Yeah, he's at the Schumacher S's is where he's at. Yeah.
He's just before the Schumacher S's, or just after the Schumacher S's.
Yes, he is. Apologies, yeah. So that then Gary back on his way. He doesn't lose P11. He stays where he is. But Peaceful. What happened at the very end? I suppose we'll find out in a minute. Monkey Boy trying to gain on the back of Exmart late in this race was 2 seconds quicker. Biggs has got back past Fury. Evening all, says Smithy, late to the party. Fury back up past Biggs at the Schumacher S's. So these two are fighting hammer and tongue here. We'll cut to Dan as he goes to the chicane. And Dan then took the pole and he needed to capitalise. He's tested positive for COVID. He took pole position. He's going to take another race win. And it's a fight here. It's Andy versus Dan. And Dan takes the first blow. Andy, though, from the back of the grid. What a drive for a P2. Absolutely stellar drive from him. This man, Mike... Peaceful explosion, what could have been for a second place, but it's been so long since he's had a podium. He'll be delighted with third place nonetheless. Fury, his run of podiums comes to an end, but it looks like it's going to be a P4 for himself with D Biggs coming P5. Great battle from them two. Little each a lap down in 12th. We know Gary will be 11th. Xmart then crosses the line. P6. Monkey Boy will come for a P7. Great battle that between them two. Sooty Apex had a quiet one tonight. He had a bit of a dramas early on, but a quiet one nonetheless. He's going to take a P8. Very, very quiet for himself. P9 then for his teammate, it looks like as well.
Yeah, very, very quiet race. That's unusual for Sooty because everything he does is loud.
Yeah. Yeah, look, fair play. Here comes KLF then. That's going to be a 9th place. I'm not sure who that is in the background. They've only got one light. That's Little Each.
Little Each. He's got, on my screen, he's got no lights.
Ah, well, there we go. He's got one light on mine. So Kelly will come across for a P9. Where is Argent? He's coming into the final corner. Now, and another man who's tested positive for COVID. Not had the best of nights in race 1. But he will come across for P10. And we await then. We await. Well, Gary to cross the line for starters. But who has got fastest lap?
I can see it being Dan.
If Dan takes fastest lap in this race, he's close 7 points out of the 9 he was behind back in race 1.
He'll be a happy bunny with that one.
He will indeed. Fastest lap here then goes to Andy. Andy strikes. Well, let's double check. Wait for it to load and double check. Andy, fastest lap of the race.
Quicker than.
So that pole position that Dan had comes back away from him, and he only pulls the 5 points back. But what this means for Dan and Andy is the gap is 3 points. We'll get to that though after the break. We'll be back in about 5 minutes time with the driver interviews and the second qualifying. Guys, go and grab yourself a drink and have a toilet break. Do not go anywhere.
I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, fly from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. sun, staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been staring at the sun in my eyes. I've been keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs. So I'm staring at the sun till I'm dry. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. Full speed ahead. I've been counting down the days to get out. I've been looking for a way from this town. And you're too far away to help me now. So I'm counting down the days to get out. 'Cause I need to learn to forget everything that drags me down. I need to forget everything inside me now. Full speed ahead, far from the end. So I'm full speed ahead.
keeping on the run every night. But you're too far away to see the signs.
Well then, ladies and gentlemen, to Simplay Motorsport. We're here for round 22, and there's 3 left to go. And speaking of 3, there's 3 points separating the top 2 drivers. Andy leads the way by 3 points. Fury's still in it, but 64 back now. He's slowly dropped out of this one. Gary stays 4th with BT 5th. X-Mart closing on him. D-Biggs gained on X-Mart in that race. Sutty losing out, as did Argent. For some reason, Emo Guy stayed tied with Argent, so I think something's gone wrong with Emo Guy's points there, because I'll have to sort of look at that one after. Disco on 148 with Peaceful on 135. I'll sort that in a minute. We'll get to the tables at the end. Let's start with the interviews, because Emo Guy's points are going up and that makes no sense. We'll start then with Mike, who we probably should have been interviewing for 2nd place. But talk us through what happened on the penultimate lap.
Oh, honestly, I was watching Andy just come flying up behind me and I thought, he's got pace. I heard your commentary say he was in the 56s. I was struggling to get in the 57s, so I knew he was gaining on me. And as I come out that chicane towards the last corner, I looked back, and then when I was looking forward again, I was on the grass, and that was it. I was spun then. I was a passenger.
You must be ecstatic though, because you've not been on the podium in the. In fact, no, sorry, you've not been on the podium since the Red Bull Ring. You've had a pretty torrid time this season. In certain races, it looked good at times, but to be back on the podium, that looked as comfortable as I've seen you for a long time.
Yeah, I got a decent setup for this in pre-season. I managed to work a setup for this, and it's just worked. It sticks to the road, well, apart from grass. But yeah, I just feel so comfortable in the Ferrari around here. I think it's a superb car around here. Nice and steady. I just got to see how I go. But
See how you. Speaking of seeing how you go, you start 13th and last in race 2. What can you do from there?
Stay out of trouble is a good start. It's always difficult to work through the pack, but I've got another potential of another podium at least. I think Andy and Dan are both going to fly off, but if I can get up there, I've got a shout. But Gary's one to watch, I think. He does poor in race 1. He normally does well in race 2. So
As well for the team. Big points tonight, Monkey Boy, good night. Good points for the team as well.
Yeah, brilliant result for both of us, really. Hopefully we can bring it into race 2 and at least finish the season on a bit of a higher than we've been throughout it.
Well, we wish you the best luck, buddy.
Cheers. Well done, Dan. Well done, Andy. See you later.
Cheers.
And we get to Andy, qualifying issues not related to the track limits incident that happened in qualifying. Put you at the back of the grid, and I bet you was kind of panicking that you may not have been able to get in for the race, was you?
I was, yeah, because I accidentally left the session just before the end. I accidentally booted up Amazon Prime, and I've just recently got a PS5, so the button layout keeps catching me out and throwing me off. So, yeah, I had to quickly jump back in the session, managed to get back in just before the end of quali, thank goodness. But start of the race was a bit difficult. Managed to get my way up into 8th, coming through the arena section, coming round the left-hand of turn 2. Somebody tagged me around, I'm not sure who, but I did get helped round a little bit. That dropped me even further back down the pack, so I was about 12 seconds off of the lead at the end of the first lap, which isn't ideal. Had to work my way through. Did come in and did configure the pit stop glitch, but I don't know if there's a problem with the PS5. You might be able to help me with this, Matt. Is there a problem on the PS5 with a glitch?
No. Oh, no. There is no problem with the glitch in the PS5, let me reassure you. That has worked all season.
All right.
Kind of a bit fortunate maybe to come away with the 2nd place in the end, though. Peaceful dropping out on the penultimate lap. But either way, good solid pace. 2nd race, you start ahead of Dan. Bit more optimistic.
Yeah, definitely. I think that with a good start, keeping out of trouble and not getting any damage, then hopefully I'll be able to gain a few points, because the last few races it's just been a constant trend of Dan gaining points. So yeah, I definitely need to try and reverse that a bit and give myself a bit more breathing space going into Spa next week. But yeah, we'll see how it goes, because we seem quite close on pace tonight.
3 points to gap, and is this now starting to edge of your seat, bite your nails, squeaky bum time?
Not yet. Not yet. I don't know if it will. Not yet. I just feel quite cool at the moment because we're not there yet. We've still got next week to go. So I still feel like I still feel in control. 3 points is the gap. So as long as I'm in the lead, I still feel in control. So yeah.
Well, we wish you the best luck, buddy. Give him hell.
Cheers, Matt.
Cheers,
Good
boys.
luck, Dan.
And we got Dan in, and we spoke about Dan having COVID before the race tonight. And I tell you what, that was a pretty steady race for yourself to be able to just take it easy.
God save peaceful. Yeah, it was. Everything went to plan. I got a little bit scared at the start, thinking I jumped the start, but nonetheless, we got a good start. Got away from Disco and just maintained the pace. Thought I'd had fastest lap, but Andy hit me at some point, so not enough points yet. But this car is feeling amazing here, absolutely amazing. I only had one moment where it's just a lack of concentration, probably because I'm not feeling right. But this car is amazing around here, and I'm thoroughly enjoying it. But yeah, good win, and I've matched my record now.
Yeah, 8 wins, yeah. Most wins in the pro season of 8, so you've matched that record. As Kieran Argent there, Jamie, was track limits. I don't know if that was noted. Is up on his Delta, so will he improve on this lap? Just 2 seconds, Dan. He does, by half a second, so I think we'll have to note that one.
Yep.
Dan, going into this second race, though, 3 points is the gap, and Andy starts 2 places in front of you. What can you do from here?
Car's feeling good, car's feeling strong. I've got to put Andy under pressure. I can't allow him to get away. But also, we're thinking of the team, and me and Biggs are now, I believe, leading the team championship. So we want to just score as many points, at least walk away with 3 times constructors. But I need to put Andy under pressure here at Nurburgring. I know the McLaren's good here, might have a disadvantage at Spa, but who knows. But stay clean in the first couple of laps and just use that race pace later on.
Next week, like you say, going to Spa, we know how good Andy has been at Spa in the past. 3 points the gap. The pressure on?
No, definitely not.
Well, we wish you...
I'm thriving from this. I'm enjoying hunting instead of being hunted. So I was just going to say, Andy's got a target on his back end. I am coming for him. I will be making sure my car is hooked up for Spa. Whether if it's rain or sunshine, I will be ready for Spa, so go to the end.
Well, we wish you the best luck for race 2. And I don't know about you, Jamie, but didn't that sound a bit like Toto Wolff there at the end of Drive to Survive this season? Yeah. Everybody's got a target on their back. Well, Dan, we wish you the best of luck, buddy.
Cheers. I can't wait to get in bed later.
I bet. Right, I have got the current up-to-date standings. So Sooty is P8, Argent is 9th, Disco goes to 10th on 148, Peaceful is on 139, Monkey Boy is on 129, KLF 125, Emo Guy 3rd from bottom on 124, Little Each on 96, and Maze Gamer on 88. So as it stands at the minute, Kelly will be staying up in this division this season. As it stands at the moment, Shaker Bake, though, lead the way by 36 points from Slingshot Motorsport in the Constructors' title, with Sandbags Motorsport on 454. They will be out of the running after this race. Team Prolapse and Leach Motorsport are also out of the running. But Audio Sport Prolapse have that gap cut short to Simplay Racing to what is now 31 points. Forever Forward also losing ground on both of the above as well. But Jamie, it's been a fantastic season so far, and it is slowly coming towards an end. Who's going to win this second race?
I'm going to have to put my money on Andy to win the second race. You saw how quick he was in the first race. If he hadn't started from the back, I reckon he would have given Dan a run for his money. And with Dan not feeling 100%, my money's got to be on Andy, because unlike last week, we didn't see him make any mistakes of his own.
Yeah, indeed. I'm going to go for Gary.
Yep.
Gary. I think Disco's got a good chance for this one as well.
Yeah, if Disco's able to keep his cool in this race, he's got a very good chance. I think there are only 2 people left out on track, and that is... there's only 1 person left out on track, and that is Sooty Apex.
Yeah, that is this man, and has got enough fuel to do another lap, and will have the time to do another lap. So Sooty can improve on his P4 at the minute. So Little Leach is done then, and that will be P6 for him. Shame that he's not been able to qualify a bit better in this one. Gary second at the minute, but only 2 tenths quicker than Sooty Apex. So I think we'll leave that one for the time being because Gary might not be there come the end of this qualifying. Kelly then will start 5th. Andy will start 7th, Ed, Monkey Boy 8th, Dan 9th, Fury 10th, D-Biggs 11th, Xmark 12th and Peaceful 13th. But it's a question of who's got pole. Can Sooty find 1.5 seconds? Can he just find a couple of attempts to go ahead of Gary here? It's all going to be worth the wait in about 1 minute 40, 30 odd seconds.
I'll tell you what, Sooty is going to be absolutely fuming at the fact that he's 1,000 slower than Argent at the minute.
Yeah, he won't like that one.
No,
Argent, though, under investigation for setting his best lap with track limits.
Yep.
So, potentially room there for Argent to lose that position. All it will do is basically bump everybody up a place on the qualifying statistics and we'll lose Argent his lap time. It doesn't lose him any points because he doesn't get points for qualifying, and Sooty's done. That will be your qualifying order then. So Disco Madisco Face pulls a point back with that pole position. Gary will start alongside him in 2nd place. Argent will be P3. Sooty will line up P4 with Kelly 5th, Little Each 6th, Andy 7th, Monkey Boy 8th, Unorthodox 9th, Fury 10th, D-Biggs 11th, Xmark 12th, and Peaceful in 13th place. I also didn't add the McLaren's extra win. That now has 24 wins overall, and the BMW M6 has another pole position to its name. That goes to 31. The M6 is 4 pole positions behind the Lamborghini and Porsche. 4 races left after this one, where there are 4 M6s that can take pole. 2 in Pro-Am, 2 in the Pro. So it could be tied with the Lamborghini. We could have Lamborghini and Porsche and BMW M6 going into Season 6, tied on 35 poles apiece.
And the streak is broken. The BMW now has 2 poles around here.
Well, that's because there was no Ferrari in that second qualifying to not let that happen.
Yeah.
So, because the Ferrari boys have had a fantastic night so far.
So, Peaceful, it's your fault.
Or Monkey Boy. Either or.
Yeah, Peaceful and Monkey Boy, it's your fault for having too good a race one.
Yeah, basically, slow down.
Should be getting ready for this one any second. I was looking earlier as well. What F1 driver do you reckon has got the most race wins around here?
Schumacher.
Yep, with 5, and then it is joint with the second best is joint between Alonso, Hamilton, and Jack Villeneuve.
They kind of stopped coming here, didn't they, recently?
Well,
so
it's been a bit of a love-hate relationship with Nurburgring. So in 1976, after Lauder's incident on the Nordschleife, that was the final race then. Then they didn't come back until 1984 to race on the Nurburgring that we're racing on tonight. They raced on it for 2 years and then didn't come back until 1995.
Yes, like I say, a love-hate relationship. Tony came back the other year in 2020 because of COVID.
Yeah. And then so they were Disco's retired.
Oh, Disco's retired. We've lost Disco from the race.
He didn't ready up in time.
Well, he will keep his point for pole position, but we've lost Disco from this race. Gary gets a clear run. As does Argent down towards turn 1. We've lost Disco McDisco Face from this race, and he will not even start this one, so it won't go down as a retirement neither, as Wales have won. That's great to see. Gary, though, free on his own into turn 1. We've lost Disco from this one, and these joys of last week turns into commiserations as Sooty taps the rear of Kieran Argent there. Dan has got himself ahead of Andy at the start as well, and Andy only down to 9th, Dan up to 6th.
Yeah, Andy's dropped back to 10th.
He has dropped back to 10th, and that is Fury. Oh, who's that? Dan, Fury, Andy, Fury, Kelly, D-Biggs and Dan all are around here. And what has happened there? Dan's got his lights off. He needs to get them back on. He has now. X-Mart involved as well. And what has happened to Dan? He's dropped to 10th, and Andy's now 6th. Little Each off. So that puts Andy up to P5, and Dan is still behind Little Each.
I tell you, the 2 shake and bake Porsches, when they spun, they crashed into each other.
Yeah, they did. McLaren's.
Or the McLaren, sorry.
Yeah, they did indeed. Gary leads the way from Argent, from Sutty. Monkey Boy P4. Great start for him. Andy's up to 5th now. Peaceful. D Biggs has got himself out of Fury. Dan still down in 10th place. How it has gone wrong for this man tonight in this start of this second race. Reverse grids. Don't they bring us some great entertainment?
Yeah, they do. They throw it all. They look at the script from race 1 and just chuck it up. I think D Biggs made him off. Yeah, D Biggs has gone off.
So Biggs off, down to 10th. He's now dropped behind his teammate. In fact, he drops to P12. So D Biggs down to last in this race. Dan, though, now up to 9th. It's more points gained.
Yeah, Gary's got a second gap. Andy is on the back of Monkey Boy.
Yeah, Monkey Boy could have the world's widest Ferrari here, and Peaceful's trying to get on the back of Andy, because I tell you what, Peaceful would love to finish ahead of Andy in this one. Dan has work to do. He can see Andy is 3 cars in front, and I think Andy's looking at Monkey Boy at the minute. No, he's not. He's struck back in.
Okay. He's in the slipstream. Is he going to send it to turn 1? No, he's not. Ooh, near enough hits him in the rear.
I think Monkey Boy had to dab on the brakes there. I think he made a little mistake, and Andy, like you say, nearly caught him out.
Yeah, I think what Monkey Boy was about to do is about to do what Fury did in race 1 and just spin it at turn 1, but he put the anchors on and stopped himself from doing so. So he nearly had a BMW imprint.
I think Monkey Boy's just ran wide out of turn 4. He looked like he was on the grass a little bit, and that has allowed Andy to close right up then. And in fact, Andy's starting to just have a look on Monkey Boy here.
Yeah, he knows though, with Dan down in 9th, he can take his time with this.
Yeah, he really can.
Dan's not making a massive amount of progress. I was then going to say it's going to really help Slingshot Motorsport in the constructors.
Well, with Disco not being able to start this race, he says the game glitched on him during the ready up screen. So with that's Sutty. Oh, hold it there, hold it there. There comes Dan.
He's going to have to wait until about 12.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, there's another car off. Who's that? That's Little H. Andy's up to 3rd, so he's done Monkey Boy.
If this guy didn't have bad luck, he'd have no luck at all. Little H. He's had a terrible season. Andy knows past Monkey Boy. Peace was gaining on the back of Monkey Boy as well. Andy defends into the chicane. Can the Ferrari look to the outside? No, it can't. Andy through nicely then. 3rd place at the minute.
Yeah, you got Pete. He's just behind you. You can just see Fury in the background.
Now then, the run to turn 1 could be quite interesting here.
Yeah, the Ferrari, as say we saw in season 2, the Ferrari didn't have very good speed in the straight line, but Monkey Boy and Peaceful got it working well in the straight line. And he catches up to Andy a fair bit, but can't have a go.
No, can't have a go. Andy covered lovely there.
Yeah, Argent's a couple of seconds up the road. He's keeping it consistent for now. Gary a further 4 seconds up the road, hoping he can keep it there.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's gone.
Gary's had a moment. Argent leads, and Andy's P2.
Andy's P2. Unorthodox has got past Xmart as well, so he's up to 7th. But he hasn't got past Gary, whereas Andy has. So, all Andy has to do now is catch Argent, who'll be loving live.
Andy's not even got to catch Argent at this minute. It's going all in the way of Andy once again. It's ebbing and flowing, this championship. It is swings and roundabouts.
It is indeed, and yeah, so Andy will be loving this. I think Argent will be loving this as well.
Kieran Argent with COVID leading a race, and could we have a double COVID winner? Well,
yeah. Maybe that's the key to winning.
That'd be a turn up for the books, wouldn't it? I have 2 COVID. Sebastian Vettel might want to race at Saudi Arabia this weekend.
Yeah.
Because they asked him, no, I've changed my mind actually, based off the Mercedes engine power. Yeah, I'm going to change that mind. Andy, though, in the background with Monkey Boy and Peaceful, 3rd and 4th. Gary's had another mistake. He's down to 9th. And Dan's now up to P6.
Dan's now got to catch 4 seconds up to Fury. I think. I thought Andy had made a mistake then because a little triangle came next to Monkey Boy's name.
I think Monkey Boy ought to let his teammate go here.
Yeah, I think he is going to do so. Peaceful on the outside, surely.
This looks like a team manoeuvre then to let the team through. Here comes Dan then, end of lap 3. Does he have damage? That's the question.
I reckon he does, because he tapped the front. Oh, here comes Fury as well. Monkey Boy's not making this easy, but I think Peaceful's now going to get the job done.
Yeah, I think Peaceful's going to get the job done. I think Fury might snatch the place from Monkey Boy as well. Monkey Boy's trying to make it hard, but Fury, look, up the inside. I think that's job done. Can Monkey Boy keep it to the outside around this point? If you keep it around the outside here, you'll have the inside for the next bit. And I tell you what, Fury shuts the door! Fury shuts the door and they both have a tap.
Where's X-Mart? Here comes... X-Mart isn't going to get him. No, they're both gone, but Fury got through on Monkey Boy nonetheless.
Yeah, Fury got through on Monkey Boy. Sooty and Little Leach into the pits as well. Dan's gone. Where's Dan in terms of bigs? He's a fair way back. If I say that, he's not that far back actually, 15 seconds. So Dan needs to be within that 25 to 30 second mark of Argent by the time the pits come. Dan's about 32 seconds behind Andy at the minute. And Andy has work to do.
Yeah, Andy's got work. Andy's got work to do. Gary is stuck in a familiar position.
Yeah, once again, looking at the rear end of KLF 900. Fury's granddad in the chat. Macedonia 1, Italy 0, full time. Jeez.
Ooh.
That's a good scoreline.
That means Italy are out. No Italy at the World Cup.
Is it not 2 legs? I thought it was 2 legs.
No, it's not 2 legs.
Well, there we go then. So it's Italy. Well, the European champions won't be at the World Cup. But let's get back to this race for now. We could chat about that after. Andy, second place, 6/10 off the back of Kieran Argent. Has Argent got the world's widest Mercedes here? He's got nothing to lose. As many points as Argent can gain after that first race, dismal first race for himself, he'll want to gain as many points as possible. So Argent here, podium race win, no matter what he gets, he wants points. So he needs to finish well here.
Yeah, he does. He needs to finish well just to make sure he stays in this division. Andy's now starting to sense an opportunity. D Biggs has come into the pits as well. Gary's got. I know Gary's made a. I thought Gary had made a mistake, but no, he was side by side with KLF. KLF's going to go stick to the inside, but Gary's just going to go right the way around the outside.
Yeah, right the way around the outside, run the curb, and Kelly comes right back at him. Looking, Kelly and Gary, they've had a few battles recently, last week and now tonight. Gary needs to pick himself up here to get him back at the front, and we miss Gary being at the front. We hope Gary can be at the front once again. Where's
Gary's
Fury and Monkey Boy? They're still 4th and 5th. Carry to the outside of Kelly.
Kelly goes defensive into the right-hander.
Now, Argy Bargy, 2/10 to Andy.
Coming through the Schumacher.
Oh, that's Little Leach. Yeah, that's the Schumacher S's. Little Leach off and a lap down. Little Leach season. He'll be glad when this season's over. That is for sure. Peaceful's coming. Little Leach stays well out the way.
Andy had to get out. Really had to get out the throttle then coming on the exits. He saw Little Leach, and I think he was just going to run a bit wide. Andy, he's just keeping it on the limit.
Just, yeah, running all the curb. Any more of that, and he'd have touched that gravel, and that's where it can unsettle the car as they come up towards the chicane. How late is Andy on the brakes compared to Argent? Gets right up to the back of him. Manages to come across the chicane, no problem there. And Argy Bargy wants to go. In fact, Andy is going to come in.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, because he's not going to get that Mercedes done in a straight line. There is, you can huff and puff.
Peaceful in as well.
Yeah. You can try all you like with that Mercedes, trying to get past that Mercedes in a straight line. It will not happen.
Now, biggest question is, where's Dan in terms of getting this position done?
Dan is coming towards the chicane. There's a lot of people in, so this could really hamper Andy, because there's a lot of other cars in.
Yeah, and if Andy's stationary, look, he's already been held for Fury. He's away now. Fury's car held Andy's car a little bit there. He's quite thankful that X-Martin Gary wasn't any closer. He's managed to jump Peaceful. Peaceful got held by Andy's car, so Peaceful could be close here. Where is Dan? Is this Dan coming down the start straight? Has Dan just brought himself back into this race? He's passed X-Mart. He's passed Fury. He's passed Peaceful. He's passed Andy. And he swings again. And Dan back in front of his title challenger. And what a race this is turning out to be. The early stop, the undercut. Danny's on a flyer at the minute.
What a strategy from Dan. coming in early, setting a lap time. Because Andy's been stuck behind that Ferrari, or been stuck behind the Mercedes of Argent.
Wow!
Yeah, he's just been plugging away. Look, 56.3s or 56.3 on the last lap. He's probably been doing that the entire time, whilst Andy's been probably going a little bit slower.
That is remarkable. Unorthodox has put the effort in the 2 laps it was since he pitted. He has undercut Fury, Xmart, Peaceful, and Andy. And Andy must not have been able to believe what he was seeing when he looked behind him coming out of the pits, and there was Unorthodox coming at him. Now the fight is on for the title. Now the fight is on going into Spa. Dan says he's got to take everything from this week before he gets to Spa next week. I can't believe what I've just seen. Dan, when Argent pits, could be leading this race technically.
Yeah, so I have to see where Argent comes out. I think Argent's he's going to run for another lap. Monkey Boy's into the pits this time. Kelly up in third as well. He's going to come into the pits. So the next man to come around will be that of Unorthodox. But Andy is going to throw the kitchen sink at this one. He's
got to throw the kitchen sink, the kitchen, the bathroom, the living room. In fact, just chuck the whole house.
Yeah, I was going to say, he'll chuck the whole street at Dan.
Yeah, he will chuck the house, indeed the street. In fact, if not the neighbourhood at Dan to stop this man, because he said his McLaren is lovely around here. He's proving his McLaren is lovely around here. Dan up to second place. Ferrari on its way out the pit lane, but they're both past Monkey Boy. Peaceful as well gets past Monkey Boy. And I tell you what, Argent has a 28-second lead. If Argent can have the best pit stop of his life, he might just come out in front of these two, but it has got to be something special.
Yeah, I imagine he's going to come up just behind, in between Peaceful and Fury.
We go to Donington just under a month from now, and on the Saturday night, it's Tyson Fury versus Dillian White. Why would you want to pay BT Sport box office prices when you can subscribe to this for free and watch this title fight? Because this is punch for punch, pound for pound, knockout blows left, right and centre. And Andy is fighting hard to keep that Champions League. But Dan, he said he's no longer the hunted, he's the hunter. And he is hunting Andy. He is prowling him like he's never been prowled before.
Yeah, so Unorthodox needs to get every point imaginable over Andy. He needs to go for fastest lap because he's, as he said in the race one interview, he said the McLaren is not going to be strong. Argent's in.
So this.
He said
Go on.
Yeah, go on.
This then, crucial. Argent's stop is so crucial here. Dan and Andy are coming down the back straight. They're coming to the chicane now. You see their white dots. How good is this man's stop? It has to be special. It's good. It's a good stop. They're through the chicane. They're at the final corner. Into it they come now.
He's going to do this. No. They're coming down.
Here they come. Off the limiter comes Argent now. He's hit the limiter. He's away. Where's Dan? Where's Andy? They're there. Argent keeps the lead of this race. He's extended the gap a little bit. And it's a COVID 1-2. It's the Mercedes of Argent who leads. He could be a brand new winner in the Pro Series. And Dan is fighting Andy for second. Jamie, how much does he pressure Argent with Andy right behind him? He can't afford a mistake.
He's just got to see how it goes. If he just how he's going now. If he manages to catch up to Argent, then fair enough. But if he can't catch Argent on raw pace, then he doesn't need to pressurise him at all.
Smithy said that Dan would drink to that at Donny. Fury's mum replied with, "So will I, Smithy." And then Smithy went, "So will Sweet and Sour Motorsport champions." Oh God, I'm going to be hammered, aren't I? Dan, though. This is very crucial for these two here.
Yeah, I tell you what Dan needs to happen. He needs Peaceful and Fury to get onto the back of Andy, put him under some pressure.
100%. Monkey Boy ahead of Xmart at the minute, and that then is a good little battle within a couple of tenths there. Andy just dropping back a bit further from Dan this lap. Now then, with Andy dropping back a bit, does that invite Dan to attack Argent that little bit more? And this, at the minute, absolutely fantastic stuff from these boys.
Yeah, it just allows Unorthodox a bit more room just to run his normal racing lines, just get that bit closer to Argent. So I reckon probably in the next 3 laps we'll have Unorthodox charge trying to get past Argent.
Let's just go back to Monkey Boy and Xmart for a second. Here is Xmart then. Look at this for 6th and 7th. These two are battling for 7th and 8th, I think, in race 1. Oh, and Xmart. Oh, he's a bit optimistic. I think that's a flash of apology there for Monkey Boy. Let's Monkey Boy go. But these two are battling hard in race 1. They're doing the same again here with Kelly in the background for 8th and Gary 9th again. Them two resuming their scrap. Oh, wow. Don't go anywhere, folks, because this race has got at least half the distance left to go. Who's that round in the background? I think that is Kelly. No, that's Biggs. Gary. No, it's Gary. Another mistake from Gary. Wow.
I was going to say he's got 28 seconds back. 28 seconds further behind, so he's not going to want to make too many more errors, because if not, I think Monkey Boy next night side by side.
Yep, can Monkey Boy hang it around the outside here like he tried to do with Fury? I think he's got more of a car side by side here, and look at this, great side by side action. Xmart just runs out of room a little bit there. Well, may have to just yield that a little bit. But a flash of the lights, it was definitely over the track limits. And I tell you what, that's familiar, says Amplova. That is familiar. Dan, 2/10 on the back of Argent. He's cleared Andy 9/10. That gap's not come down any. But Andy may be thinking, hang on, let him attack Argent. If Argent defends, then I could really get on the back of Dan here. They've got Little Each in the way. Dan looks left, looks right, but Argent's trying to lap Little Each. How risky is this for the 2-times champ at the minute?
Look at Andy. He's closed right in.
And this as well, by the way, really helps Peaceful and Fury get into this one.
Yeah, it does. Look, Little Each moves out of the way. If Dan's going to make the move on Argent, he needs to hurry up about it.
Oh, he does. As Andy there nearly got so close to the back of Dan, and Andy's right back in this fight. Peaceful's now under 4 seconds. There is Peaceful. So Peaceful could be in this within a matter of moments as well. Argent, Dan, Andy, BMW, Mercedes, McLaren, BMW. The Porsche in the background's a lap down. And at the minute, Dan must be seething to get clear of Argent. Argent, though, has every right to be there. Lap 10 of 17, and Dan's trying to attack Argent and not watch Andy behind him. Argent into turn 1. Dan looking for the undercut. And Argent's round! He's tapped Dan! Dan carries on his way, and Argent somehow manages to keep it going. I think Peaceful span at the first corner as well. He's had a moment because Fury's right on the back of him. He's lost all the time to Argent, but Dan leads Andy second. And a heart in your mouth moment there.
Yeah, that was a massive heart in the back moment for an Orthodox. Somehow, Argent turned him back around. Unorthodox turned Argent back around. So I think Argent needs to. Oh, Little Each.
There was no, I've just saw back on the stream. There was no contact from Dan on Argent somehow at turn 1. Argent lost it on his own, too heavy on the happy pedal, I imagine there. But Dan leads from Andy. Argent still on the podium, not out of this podium fight, by the way, because if Andy and Dan start to pressurise each other, Jamie, this is the thing here now. If Andy gets fastest lap, the way it stays, Dan will pull 1 point back on it. Will pull 3 points back on him. Sorry, hang on. The gap's 5. There's 5 points difference at the minute in terms of what they stand at the moment. If Andy takes fastest lap, that goes down to 4. There's 3 points in this. So if it stays as it is and Andy takes fastest lap, Dan will be leading the championship going into Spa by 1 point.
Yeah, so it's so close. It's so close going into the final round. Neither of these two want to make a mistake at all.
Andy versus Dan. Argent, you mean? What's happened to Peaceful? Peaceful must have had another moment.
Yeah.
Because he's down in P5, 16 seconds off the back of the leaders now, so he must have had another moment. Avim and Fury had a coming together, not too short.
Gary has had a massive moment. Look, he's 20 seconds behind KLF now, and he was a couple of laps ago. He wasn't too far. He was right on the back of him.
Biggs will try and hopefully get past KLF. This man, 7/10 behind Dan at the moment. Oh, this race, this season is coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the very end of the season. It is becoming a fantastic display from both of these drivers. Argent could be on for a podium here as well. Let's not take anything away from Argent at the moment. But Dan and Andy, all season, hammer and tongue.
Yeah, these two
Wow.
all season long have just been at each other. They've always been battling on track with each other. They've never been separated. No matter what race, we're always focusing on Andy versus Dan.
Fury's tried to upset them a few times, so has BT Targa and Gary at the odd chance. Peaceful tried to upset the Bucks today in race 1, as did Argent in this second race. But like Jamie says, you've not been able to take your eyes away from this fight right here. And we're on lap 11, coming up to start lap 12 of 17. We've got 2 races at Spa to go after this.
Looks like it's your job next season, Matt, to break.
Oh, don't you worry, pal. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that.
In the lawnmower.
Nah. Lawnmower's retired. Me and Smithy have decided to officially replace the Jason Plato Renault Laguna with the Aracora at the Silverstone Museum.
Okay, the grass box is full, is it?
The grass box is full, and it will remain in the Silverstone Museum of Brilliant Motor Cars, with a cardboard cutout of me on mine and Smithy on his, and yeah.
Has Monkey Boy made a mistake?
Monkey Boy has made a mistake. He's lost out to KLF and to D-Biggs. Gary's had another mistake. He's lost out to Sooty Apex. It has not been the Porsche's night. It has not been the Leachy Boys' night at all. They will hope to bounce back stronger next week. Oh, I need to catch my breath here because this has been fantastic. Biggs on the back of KLF at the minute. That's couple of tenths of a second. Look at this. Biggs versus Kelly. McLaren versus McLaren. Audio Sport Prolapse versus Sweet and Sour Motorsport. Biggs right to the inside line. Kelly doesn't defend that. Oh, careful, Kelly. There's a car up your inside. Biggs. That was a strange exit from Biggs there, and that has just invited Kelly back up the inside. We've seen Kelly do this earlier with Gary. Look how close they get him. And does Kelly... He does, but Biggs...
He's going to try and hold it around the outside.
Oh, yeah, no, yeah, he's done that. Biggs, well done there from Kelly, should I say. It's a great bit of attacking and defending from both drivers there.
Biggs is having another lurk into the right-hander. Ooh,
oh, that's optimistic, that's optimistic. He's tapped Kelly.
Yeah.
He is going to wait for him.
Has Kelly been,
no, he's
Kelly's
not.
Been in the wall.
Kelly's tapped the wall, and Biggs on his way.
Monkey Boy's got past as well. So Kelly's not going to be very chuffed about that.
Sorry, it was just jotting that one down as one to look at.
Andy hasn't really got right onto the back of Dan. He hasn't really put him under too much pressure.
I don't think he's got enough pace. I think he's got the pace to stick with him. But you look at Dan, look. Oh, he's wide! He's in the gravel. He's wide. Huge wiggle. Now Argy Bargy's too far back for Andy to get him. But is that game over for Andy in this race?
I'd say so. As long as Dan keeps his concentration in this one.
Yeah, as long as Dan... Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Just need Kelly to start screaming at him down the headset. That'll keep him awake. Argent 4 seconds off Andy. He's got
Little Leach back in the pits once again. He's had a terrible night, and like you say, yep, Fury 1 second, 1.5 seconds to Argent. Argent 4 seconds off of Andy. Andy makes a couple more of them mistakes, and he could be looking at Argent and Fury, not just one but both coming at him.
Oh yeah, having a double Mercedes attack on him.
Fury then pretty much will be out the running after this race for the championship. Been sad to see, but another good performance from Fury this season for third place. Because I can't see Gary catching him.
Yeah, but see, Fury's progressed so much from the from the season 2 Fury.
Yeah, he really has. He's got better and better since winning his Pro-Am Championship. Oh, Argent! Oh, that's the wrong line! That's the wrong line off. He's kept it out. Oh, no, he's just touched the wall.
Where's Peaceful?
Peaceful coming up to the Schumacher S's. Fury then, third place. Argent not yet got going. Does Argent have damage from that? And Argent then, has he just thrown away a podium? There's Peaceful.
Peaceful's now going to have his target locked on Argent.
100%, because Peaceful can still catch Argent in this championship. So every time he finishes in front, Peaceful as well will want to pull away from that relegation scrap. And there's a flash. Oh, look. There's Tyler Explosion. Payback. Right? Even though he only flashed once and not overly excessive. But yeah, you know what I mean. Andy back in the 56s this time around after his mistake last lap. So 2/10 he's lost to Dan, but the damage was done the minute he went wide. Can Argent hang on for P4? What damage does he have to that car now? He hit the wall, not hard, but hard enough that it could have given him a bit of aero. Oh, another flash, look. Oh, Tyler Explosion again, look. Oh, terrible.
Yeah, he just kissed the wall.
That wall's probably got COVID if Kieran's just kissed it then. As down into Tier 1 Kieran comes now, and it's all, the dust has settled a little bit here because it's kind of just calmed down at the moment.
Yeah, it has. It's calmed down. The only real battle on track is this one, and Peter's not massively close enough, but he's close enough to put a lead. You see him just come into shot. He's
right there. He's with him. He's with him.
He's going to start putting that Mercedes under a lot of pressure.
Indeed he is, and Kieran at times has come under criticism for it when he's under pressure, attacking and defending. And when you're not feeling well, that can just be a bit more of another worry to think about. Get your votes in for driver of the day, though, chat, as we come to the end of this race. Also, hit that like button if you haven't already. Hit the bell to be notified when we are live. And subscribe if you are new. We'll be back live on Sunday night with Dan Davis bringing you the whole commentary of the 100% race of the Nurburgring Grand Prix, live from Budapest in Hungary. And Argent here, he has indeed. Smithy going the way of N-Dubs for driver of the day.
He hasn't. He's having a look. He's kind of scared Argent away from the apex there. I think. Oh yeah. I was going to say Kelly's made a mistake, but we saw him get spun around by D-Bigs.
Yeah, he has. Driver of the day for PS Motorsport. He says peaceful. I think I've got my driver of the day. As here then comes Mike, Peaceful Explosion, Tyler Explosion, many names, whatever you want to call him. As Rob Collard today qualified P1 in race 1, and he's got 2 race wins under his belt as well, so that's good for him. Look at the different lines that Peaceful and Argent take here. It's fascinating to see. Andy's bringing that gap down, 6/10 quicker on the last lap.
The Ferrari's very good in the straight line. It's caught up to Mercedes. He's going to try and go around the outside.
Undercut, maybe? No, he's just probably not got as close as he would have liked to there. 1.6 the gap between Dan and Andy. This, though, 0.2 of a second, so we'll stick with this. As Kelly's got back in front of D-Biggs.
I think D-Biggs has made a massive mistake.
Monkey Boy has as well, yeah.
Yeah, look, 2 minute 18 last lap from D-Biggs.
Yeah, so big mistake from D-Biggs somewhere then. Lap 15 of 17. Dan and Andy still within a second and a half all the way through this race. And Mike, Peaceful Explosion, is really trying to gain on the back of Argent here. To the hairpin they come now. And can Argy Bargy hold off the Peaceful pirouette? Look at the different lines they both take there. That actually didn't work out at all for Argent, because look at the run Peaceful got. A heavy lift for Peaceful through the Schumacher S's. Argent bouncing across the curbs, very unstable. Mike got so close to him there, he'd have been in dire crap if Argent had lost the rear end. But Mike just can't get past him here.
The gap's at a second between Andy and Dan now as well, so if that cut gets any closer, I have to cuts them. But yeah, this battle, just see the different lines they take. Peaceful.
Here goes Peaceful now. He's looking for the send it up the inside into the chicane. Argent gives him plenty of room. It's reciprocated on the second part. I thought Mike was trying to get the cut back. He didn't. Into the last corner. Gap under a second out front. And 2 laps to go. Look at the last lap times.
50. Yeah, I wonder whether has Dan had to deal with any traffic.
No.
Here comes Peaceful. He's going to try to the outside. Is he just going to outbrake him, or is he going to send?
No, he brakes earlier. Argent has gone deep. Oh, he's played him an absolute peach. Send Argent deep up the inside. Argent.
Oh no, Peaceful's had a wiggle there.
He did, sorry, I think my mic just cut out. But Argent there, come back at him well. Peaceful tried to set him up. That gap's 0.6 now out front, back up to 7.
As I'm going to say, if he pulled it off, then Pete, there you go.
Yep, flashing again. Yep. Terrible that. You'd never catch me doing that, Mike. Oh! Argy Bargy! Argy Bargy!
Oh, he had a wiggle and just shoved Peaceful off. Surely, should he give that position back? I'd say so, yeah.
All right.
Peaceful was up the inside.
You see him there flashing uncontrollably. Terrible.
Yeah, terrible. I was going to say, if Peaceful had done him at turn 1, I was going to say Peaceful had done Argent like a kipper.
Like an absolute kipper. Let's cut then to the final lap of this race, because these two are getting closer and closer and closer. 1 lap to go. 1 week to go at the moment left. 2 races and 1 lap to go. And it is as close as it is in the championship standings. Andy to the inside. Is he just trying to distract Dan a little bit here? Last lap. Last chance saloon. Has Argent slowed a little bit to let Peaceful catch him? Because that's back to half a second.
Peaceful's launched himself over the chicane. It's about 0.8. So it's round what it was, 3/10.
It's 3/10. 3/10 out front. What is happening out front? Don't forget to get your votes in for Driver of the Day if you haven't done already. Andy is charging. Dan is defending. And me and Jamie need a cool break after this, because it has been a long, long night and there's still a week to go.
Andy is trying to chuck the kitchens. Is chucking the neighbourhood.
It's Germany versus Britain. We know what happened in the early 1900s. We know what happened in 1966 when England and Germany went to battle. And once again, it's happening again here. Football reference there, Jamie, if you didn't get that one. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, that's fine. Just making sure, keeping you on your toes, you see. What will happen here? They think it's all over. It won't be until next week, that is for sure. But one thing is for sure is, has Dan done enough here at this moment, at this very stage in this race? Peaceful right on the back of Argent once again, but we can't come away from this battle. Looks like Fury's going to hang on for 3rd place. We might have to get him in at the end.
I think Dan has done enough, unless he massively messes up this.
Out the chicane. Final corner. Is Andy just going to think about it? No, he's not. He's getting closer, 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 closer he gets. But is it out of time? Is it enough? Dan's going to take the win. Back to back for Dan. Andy settles for 2nd. We await the fastest lap. Fury looks like he's going to come home for that P3. But we'll come back to it. We'll just cut to Fury in a moment. He's coming around the final corner. In fact, no, we'll stay with this, because here goes Peaceful. Fury's coming to the line. We're going to stay with this, though. Tyler Explosion flashing once again. His lights are off. Nobody's in. Argent across the chicane. And Kay stays in front of Peaceful there. Has Argent held on for 4th? Hinky flashing again. I'd be being ripped for the amount of flashing. Argent hangs on for 4th place. Peaceful will take 5th. Tyler Himovic flashing one. Tyler. Oh God, I got that wrong. Tyler Explosion flashing once again. Little Each crosses the line for P12. Xmart will come across for 2 P6s. Solid results for him tonight. Monkey Boy. A set of 7s for himself. Good night for the Ferraris in points wise overall. KLF. P8, making hard work of this relegation scrap that he was so certain of a few weeks ago. P8 for KLF, P9 for D-Biggs. Not the 2nd race he'd have wanted. P10 looks like it's going to go the way of this man. He's 8 seconds to Gary 131. We await then the fastest lap. Do you want to get Fury in?
Yep. There we go. Fury's in, so he comes across the line for. And, we lost a little lead.
He's already crossed the line, so that one's fine. Gary then for P11. Fastest lap, Jamie.
I imagine it'll probably be Andy, and
it is Andy.
Yeah, it's Andy. So Andy takes a point back.
So while we await for Fury and Andy and Dan to get in the party, the championship standings have ebbed and flowed all season, and I tell you what, it couldn't be closer. Dan leads the way by 1 point going into Spa. Fury 71 behind, now mathematically out of this. Gary's in 4th, BT Targa 5th, Xmart 6th, D-Big 7th, Sutty's 8th, Argent's up to 9th. Disco drops to 10th, with Peaceful 11th, tied with Disco now. Monkey Boy 12th, KLF 13th, Emo Guy 14th, Little Leech 15th, Maze Gamer 16th. The Constructors standings, Shake and Bake 45 clear of Slingshot Motorsport with 94 points up for grabs. Sandbags Motorsport cannot win it no more. They're 3rd place. Team Prolapse are trying to close on them. Leech Motorsport have now got Audio Sport Prolapse gaining on their rear end, and Simplay Racing are coming for them as well. Forever Forward bring up the rear, but we'll start with Fury. Fury, 3rd place in the end of what was quite a fantastic night for yourself. Got in late, but a good set of results nonetheless.
Yeah, pretty proud of the results considering the car didn't feel the best around here, but just managed to hold it out to the end and get some decent points on the board regardless.
3rd place, not in the championship anymore, but either way, you've had a cracking season once again.
Yeah, I can't really complain considering the fact of 3 seasons ago was one of my worst seasons, I'd say, and just built on it.
Spa next week. What can you do from there, buddy?
Merc track, hopefully take as many points as I can, even though I'm out of it, but just take the point.
Well, look, best of luck. Well done tonight, and we wish you the best luck for next week.
Cheers, mate.
Andy, it looked like it went your way in the early stages of this race with Dan getting in trouble. I bet you didn't expect to see him come out of the pits in front of you, though.
No, I mean, I was behind Argent for a few laps and I just couldn't find a way past him. Didn't expect in a million years what would happen in the pit stops. Again, the same thing, I had an 8-second pit stop. I don't know why, but for some reason it's just not working on the PS5. I've done all the right things, I ticked all the right boxes, but it's not working. But I want to say well done to Dan, because that was an amazing battle. And this season it's pretty much, it's just it sums up the whole season really, this battle. You know, it's been so close, it's been nip and tuck the whole way, and tonight I just couldn't find a way through. I was giving it absolutely everything and more, and just couldn't find a way past. I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and trying everything I had. But well done to Dan, because that was awesome, and he really held his own and held firm. So yeah, going to the last race, 1 point between us. It's going to be good. It's going to be exciting, and it's going to go down to the last race. I know that.
It is indeed, and you seem to let him battle Argent for a while. Did you think he had a sniff then when Argent had his moment? Did you think he'd sent Dan round and you was able to sail away, or?
No, to be honest, I don't know if it might not have been clear on the stream, but I came really close to being collected by Argent because he had the spin. He had that little knock with Dan, and then he just had the spin right in front of me, and he sort of lost it to the inside, and then I was on my, he was right in the middle of the racing line where he lost it, and I had to swerve to the left. As I was coming out of the turn 1, I had to take that inside line for the turn 2 by swerving to the left and avoiding him. So it was actually really close between us. I literally saw the championship flashing before my eyes at that moment.
Like you say, 1 point in it. You go to Spa. We've seen how well you've done at Spa in the past, back in the Ginetta. You've got to feel confident next week.
I think at this stage, form goes out of the window when you've got the championship on the line like this. I know it's nice to think, but I don't think that's going to have too much of an effect. I think that Dan's going to be up for this regardless. It doesn't matter if he likes or loathes the track. I think he's going to be up for this one regardless. So it's going to be about who performs on the night, in all honesty. So hopefully it'll be my night, but we'll have to wait and see. By virtue of the last few weeks, I think Dan's definitely got the momentum. But again, that could be thrown out of the window.
Well, Andy, we wish you the best of luck next week. And congratulations tonight on your 2 second places.
Cheers, mate. Well done to Dan. Awesome defending.
Cheers, man.
Dan, not well. And Andy, Kieran, everybody else on that second race grid chucked everything at you there.
Yeah, I was not amused with lap 1. Not at all. Been spun round, hit for no that for stupid reasons, and just people just being stupid on that one, and it really irritated me. You just don't need to be like that. But hey ho, I came into the pits as soon as possible. Me and Biggs were debating who would come in first. In the end, it was me, and I had a cracker of a stop, 2-second stop, in and out, and I just did quali laps from that point. Was trying to go as fast as I possibly could. Knew that Andy was going to get stuck in traffic. Knew that all those Ferraris were there as well. There was no point sitting behind them, get clean air. And it's, I see everyone in the pits, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe this. So yeah, Argent little moment scared me. But I feel like I did nothing wrong. I was up the inside. He has a wiggle and it's me. So yeah, but towards the end then, I was just pushing as hard as I can because I knew Andy was coming, and I just have to repeat what Andy says. This season's been epic. I've had to work as hard as I've ever had in this car and against Andy, and it's killing me after tonight.
Yeah, the battle with Argent and yourself and Andy looked like it was a scary moment, heart in mouth moment, I'd say. Andy made the mistake at the end of that race where he ran wide and went into the gravel. You then had over a 2-second buffer. Was you just sort of bringing it home at the end, or was Andy's pace just more superior than yours?
Andy seemed like he had the pace towards the end. I was just trying to keep it on track, especially after the little moment in Schumacher S's in the race before. So it was all about, I'm in front, I'm outscoring him, just keep it on track kind of thing. He caught me just at the end there, but like I said, it's been an epic fight between me and him this season. We go to Spa. I know Andy's ridiculously good at Spa, but I'm hoping for wet weather. So if wet weather comes in, it might even the playing field a little bit.
1 point in it. Thoughts?
It's on. It's still on. Like Andy says, I'm going to come at him with everything. I did tonight. I knew the McLaren would be better tonight. So I just have to deliver at Spa. And I could walk away after Spa saying I've given it my best. Probably my best season I've driven, with most wins in one season now. So yeah, game on. Bring it, Andy. And let's see how it ends out.
Well done tonight, Dan. Go on, sorry, Andy.
No, I was just saying, yeah, I echo those sentiments. It's we've both given it 110%. I've given it more than I've got over this season, especially in that second race just now. I was so close to losing a car on the ragged edge. Can't wait to see what happens.
Yeah, bring it on. Jamie, final thoughts from yourself and driver of the day.
Well, we're set up for an absolutely fantastic season finale next week. Tonight, it's just been absolutely crazy. Just say well done to Dan, well done to Peaceful, to Andy, to everyone tonight, and yeah, can't wait for Spa next week. And my driver of the day, it has to go to Peaceful Explosion.
Exactly my thoughts there, and Peaceful got the votes in the chat as well. So Peaceful will be your driver of the day. If you thought the championship in Pro-Am was tight with the battles happening there, that one's done. Make sure you tune in Thursday night, me and Jamie live, 8 p.m. next week. Spa, Belgium. Evening race. Dan or Andy, McLaren or BMW. It is going down to the wire. Make sure you join us live on Sunday night as well. Dan Davis will be live, bringing you the Formula One race of the 100% Hungaroring Grand Prix. Can Gary take a second win? Can Mazda get a first of the season? No green pie, so can I extend my championship lead? Join us live next Wednesday night as well, where Dan and Kelly will be bringing you the action. The battle of the Scotsman for third. Smoky Devil versus Welchie. Bar and Dean not mathematically out of that either, so can they make a late charge in that promotion spots?
Also, can Emplava hang on to second place?
Yes. Can he hang on to second place in the Constructors' Championships? He's done it on his own all season, and that will be a fantastic achievement if he does. Join me and Jamie live next Thursday. It is on, and we hope to see you there. From everybody here at Simplay Motorsport, take care. Good night.
Good night.